Whoever's the best coach for the Las Vegas Raiders is who we're going to hire. We're looking for someone to build this the right way.
Breaking news from the NFL, the Las Vegas Raiders intend to hire Seahawks offensive coordinator Clint Kubiak as their next head coach.
Clint Kubiak going to the Las Vegas Raiders, and I love the pick. I love the hire.
And Kubiak is very good from an offensive football perspective. He has literally spent every breathing moment of his life in the NFL.
What he's done with this football team, what he's done with Sam Darnold, we're in the offensive era, quarterback whisper era.
He's going to be inheriting Austin Genty, Brock Bowers.
Other teams should be a little bit nervous for the puzzle pieces that you guys are putting together.
What does the future look like as a head coach in this league for you? Because it's going to happen.
You guys know I'm going to Las Vegas, so I'm fired up about it. It's a blessing. It's really exciting day for my family, and yeah, just soaking it all in right now. I got a lot of work to do. Hey, thanks for being here, guys. Look forward to getting to work, all right? A lot of work to do, okay? But we're about to work. All right, see ya. See you in there.
What up, everybody? This is Michael B. Thanks for joining us tonight on Drinkin Bourbon and Talking Football, the podcast. We got some really exciting guests tonight. I apologize for my camera is it's been on the fritz and worked on it for 20 minutes and still sucks. So I apologize. We got some really cool guests. Like I said, we got Michael F. Michael does Michael PS 2K, does a lot of spaces on Twitter. Outstanding. He's also the moderator for Ravens Flock. And we have DraftNerds on here, Mr. Matt T. And we're going to be talking a little bit about all of that, the draft, the combine, the coaching cycle. As you saw, I'm pretty pumped about the Raiders. I'm pretty pumped about the Ravens also. But I couldn't find all the video for Jesse Minter that I found for Clint Kubiak. So without further ado, we're just going to get started here. We got a whole list of things we wanted to discuss. We may get to them, we may not. But let's get them. Let's bring everybody up. All right. I'm going to bring my partner in crime up first, Sean Fuentes. What's up there, Sean? Trooper 91.
You know, it's another day in paradise.
It sure is.
What's going on?
Okay. I got Michael F. This is Michael PS2K on Twitter. He does the spaces. He's a moderator for the Ravens Flock group, and we're excited to have him on tonight. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing good, man. Appreciate you guys. Also, Louisville fan too. Gotta throw that one out there. Shout out.
Oh yeah,
L1C4 baby over here. So
L1C4, my friend, L1C4. All right, and last but not least, we got one of my new favorite follows, DraftNerds, Mr. Matt T, who's been putting out a lot of. First of all, Matt, let me ask you. Every time I'm on Twitter, I see you on a space. Do you not have a job? Are you unemployed?
Yeah, so I do have a job. I work full time in an ER in the hospital.
Oh, okay.
But I work 12-hour shifts, so I work about 3 or 4 days a week. So there's a lot of other days where I'm doing this, and it's nonstop. This is my time of year, though. This is my time of year, which is. You know, I'm dormant normally during the regular season, but then this is when we come out and we nonstop.
Yeah, and I'm so excited to have you on. I really, like I told you earlier, I really like what you're putting out there in the Twitterverse. That's only social media that I really get on anymore. But I really like, your mock drafts and your breakdowns and your insights. And same with Michael. That's why I wanted both you guys on tonight. I know you both got different visions and different insights on things. And, me and Sean will also, but that's why we're here to discuss all that and give the people what they want, hopefully. So,
Absolutely. Thank you for having us.
Absolutely, man. I'm really, blessed and stoked that you guys are on. Okay. So first thing I want to do is there were 10 coaching vacancies in the NFL this year. The Buffalo Bills being the last one. They ended up staying in house with Joe Brady. Of the 10, and there's been 45 coaching vacancies in the last 6 years in the NFL, which is astounding to me. But the first thing I want to do is talk about who do you guys, and I'll start with you, Matt. Who do you guys think was the big winner? The team. What team was the big winner in the coaching cycle this time?
In my opinion, I think the Raiders are the big winner. Clint Kubiak, for anyone who's been following me, like Clint Kubiak is who I wanted for the Ravens. I just believe I just been a fan of. I was a fan of his dad, Gary Kubiak. Been a fan of the Kubiaks in general. They were very instrumental in building that offense with the Shanahans. A lot of people give the Shanahans all the credit, but the Kubiaks were just as influential in building that offense. Going back to when Gary was backup quarterback for John Elway,
right?
Those guys grew up in that. Like there's pictures out there of Kyle Shanahan and Clint Kubiak as teenagers in the Broncos locker room as young kids, kind of learning and develop. So these guys have been bred and born to be in football. And I thought Clint Kubiak was the belle of the ball, in my opinion. There's some other people who saw it differently, but for me, I thought he was the belle of the ball and he was worth the wait. I'm glad the Raiders waited. I wish the Ravens would have waited. But I'm glad you guys waited. You can look at the Super Bowl. Seattle waited for Mike McDonald, right? Like we played in the AFC Championship game in 2023. They literally just sat and waited until we were eliminated and then went after him. So kind of what you guys did, you waited till the Super Bowl was over. And if he's your coach for the next 10 years, who cares how long you had to wait to hire him, right?
Yeah, and I agree. And, you and I are aligned in that regard. I wanted Clint Kubiak also. My top two coaches were Kubiak and Mentor. I had them in reverse order. I wanted Mentor with the Raiders, and I wanted Kubiak with the Ravens. And I've said on Twitter why I wanted Kubiak for the Ravens more so because of Lamar Jackson. Okay. Right. I'm good with Mentor. I think he's going to do an outstanding job. The staff he's putting together,
outstanding.
Wow. It's wow. I mean, it's just incredible. So I'm pretty excited to see what they do with Jesse Mentor. But those are the two top coaches in my view for this coaching cycle. And I wanted both of them, of course, for two different teams. But
I called Mentor the defensive version of Kubiak. Like they're two young bright minds. 100%. One's defensive, one's offensive. We got the defensive one. You guys got the offensive one. I think we both win.
Yeah, I agree. Hey, Michael, what are your thoughts? Who do you think was the big winner?
Yeah, so if I have to choose
at the same time, Michael, Michael, but at the same time, I want your big loser too.
If there's a big loser. Okay. I already got some notes down for this from what you sent me as far as the breakdown of today's session. I agree with what Matt said. I think the Raiders will be a win, and especially for the next decade or so. I mean, the Kubiaks, legendary family in football. If I had to pick a winner right now when it comes to like a fully built out coaching staff, Ravens. I genuinely. I mean, obviously on paper, you can't really know until the season starts and see how the team actually developed and progressed. But the way I look at it, I view them as probably the best coaching staff in football at the moment with what they've brought in. I think they're young. I think they're going to be a lot of guys who stick around for a couple of years. I'm interested to see what Kubiak does. I know Jim Schwartz is on the board for you guys, so I think that his coaching tree, just what he's built out alone. I think we'll bring over a lot of guys from that are going to be beneficial to you guys and make that team really good. So I do see you guys being a winner. I just got to see who the hires are to be 100% on it.
Right.
But another winner that I'd kind of throw out there is the Titans. I think the Titans, for where they're at right now, I think Saleh and then bringing in Dabble, like I think that team is going to be in a really good spot within the next couple of years with Cam Ward at the helm. I think they're going to make some offseason moves and be in a good spot. As far as losers, Giants. Oh my God. I think the Giants. I think the Giants fans were very, very, happy about John Harbaugh, and then we got to see who his hires were, and now we're like, oh yeah, okay, Matt Nagy, Greg Roman's part of that staff now. That is going to be a rough season for them, especially with one of the hardest schedules in football coming up. And then on top of that, I think the Steelers would be another loser, because I don't think that they're going to really regress hard. I know they have some question marks roster wise, but as far as what you want for your coaching staff, I know they really wanted Shula. I have a really close friend of mine as a Steelers fan. We used to live together, so that was always fun, right? Ravens and Steelers games, but me and him were talking about it, and it felt like they went from Mike Tomlin to slightly worse Mike Tomlin. So it's like really no big change there when they wanted Shula, they wanted a young guy to come in, and especially with the Ravens getting Minter, I mean, that's a bad hire in my book. So those would be my two losers. Everybody else is kind of middle of the pack. Like the Cardinals, I'm interested to see what LaFleur does there.
Yeah.
He gives me weird vibes, but he could also be like his brother and be really, really solid. So. It's a solid year for coaching. It's been fun to see how it all shaked out. So,
yeah, and I agree with you with Saleh in Tennessee. I think that's a good hire, and bringing Dayball in, perfect OC candidate. If I had a top OC candidate out of all the ones that have been hired in this cycle, he'd be at the top of the list. So I think they'll do well. That'll do well for Cam Ward and. We'll see what happens. As far as losers, I'm kind of agree with Pittsburgh, but I know Mike McCarthy's a good coach, but to me, I'm so tired of recycling these coaches. I'm so tired of not giving these young guys up and coming coordinators or even position players to move into coordinator or position coaches to move into coordinator spots. I'm so tired of not giving these guys chances. If you think about the core of the coaches for the last 20 years, they're pretty much the same. They keep recycling them. Okay. John Harbaugh, Mike Tomlin I'm ready for something different. And that's what I like about this coaching cycle is that these guys, I think, are going to bring us some different kind of football, different style of football. They're going to bring us into the 21st century. It's kind of how I look at it. Sean, tell me your thoughts, bro.
Well, I mean, I agree with the Raiders. Kubiak was, I think, what most people wanted, but most teams probably had him high on their list. Maybe some didn't have him at the top, but he was probably high on everybody's list. So I think we've talked enough about that. But there was a coach that didn't let go. The Packers, LaFleur hiring him, I thought that was a win. He could have went somewhere else. They needed to keep him. But for my number two, it's really Atlanta. I think Atlanta won. I think Stefanski's a great coach, and their roster isn't that far away. I mean, I know we've got the quarterback coming off, and I think it's the ACL, which isn't good. But all the other pieces are kind of there, They've got good wide receivers. They got good running back. The defense is pretty good. So I think they're going to do well. I think Stefanski's going to come in and fit right in. As far as or come in and start winning right away. As far as the losers, I had the Bills at the top of my list because they didn't invest a lot in their defense.
Yeah.
And McDermott was kind of, duct taping that thing together. And so then they hire the offensive coordinator to be over everything. I mean, if the defense plays worse, it's not going to matter how good Allen is. You know what I mean? I think he's a really good quarterback, but you can only do so much. You need to have a defense, right? And and then as mentioned, the Steelers. And I think I like McCarthy. I think he's a great coach, but he's going to run into the same problem that Tomlin did, which is they don't have a quarterback. And all due respect to Rodgers, he just can't run like he used to. I mean, he's 40-something now. He shouldn't be able to run like a 20-year-old. And so technically he's not on the roster. He's a free agent, so they don't have a quarterback. So you take a really good coach who I mentioned duct tape, who was able to keep the team together, pulling out wins when they probably shouldn't have won. And now that's gone. You still don't have a quarterback. It's an aging defense. The way they write their contracts is different. So, they don't do a lot of free agency, so they build through the draft. My question is, McCarthy just a bridge head coach? Did they interview guys that they thought were good but not quite ready? So McCarthy's just going to kind of be this speed bump to the next coach. They can't think he's going to be there 15, 20 years.
Right. And I agree with you. I mean, the biggest problem, in Pittsburgh is the quarterback. The biggest issue in Buffalo is the defense. Yes, Josh Allen's a good quarterback. I'm not putting him in the great level. I don't have Josh Allen in the top 2 like everybody else. He might be in my top 3, but he has too many mistakes. He commits too many mistakes, too many turnovers, and you cannot do that if you don't have the defense to bail you out. And they definitely do not. So, yeah, that seemed like a rush hire. Same thing with Pittsburgh. Hey, Michael, tell me, who do you think didn't get a job but should have gotten a job in this cycle?
Anthony Weaver.
Yeah,
I think that's
I heard
my
you
opinion.
promoting him today.
Yeah, so I think that's probably the biggest one for me. And like obviously there's a little bit of bias there, being a Ravens fan, but on top of that, I think he's been ready to be a head coach in the league. I thought the Dolphins probably should have promoted him instead of going with Hafley, but obviously whole ownership change, or not ownership change, but the ownership changed pretty much everything in that building. So they clearly wanted to go a completely different direction. So I get that, but I thought the Giants should have probably bet on him and gone with that. I think that would have been a good fit for them. I thought the Ravens could have gone with him, and I wouldn't have been terribly mad at it. I think we got the right coach in the end, obviously, but I think within the next couple of years, Anthony Weaver is going to be a head coach, and he deserves to be. Really, aside from him, I could say Shula, I could say Shieldhouse. But I think like Shieldhouse, for instance, is more of like a question mark, just because you don't know how much of that offense he's really run over there, and you don't know that's a pretty big jump for him to go straight up to head coach. I think he'd need to get like an OC job where he's play calling first, get that experience under his belt, and then take the step up. And then Shula, I think it was another guy who I think could have been ready and probably should have got the Steelers nod, to be honest with you. But those would be my guys. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, there were rumblings about Shula to Pittsburgh, especially, right after Tomlin. I'm not sure. I'm with you on Shieldhouse. I'm not sure he's ready yet. He's not had the full OC experience yet.
Yeah, exactly.
The same with Davis Webb out of Denver. I love Davis Webb. I think he should have been hired as, of course, they did bump him up in Denver. So that's good. So he'll, we'll see next cycle. Sean, give me yours. Who should have got hired that didn't? Make it quick. You're on mute.
You're muted. You're muted. Yeah.
You're on mute.
Dang it. I'm going to go with somebody that shouldn't have got hired. Sean McDermott should still have a job coaching. They should not have let him go. I mean,
I think
and I'll use my Raiders. Look at Madden. Didn't he coached for 10 years and finally won the Super Bowl. Like he's a good coach. It's like leaving a really good party to see if another party's good. You just don't do it. You're at a good party. Why are you leaving? So I think McDermott should not have been. And it sounded like it was a quick. The owner walks in, doesn't like what's going on in the locker room, and decides to fire him. Like right then, like maybe he should have taken a day or two, and thought about it.
Front office is the issue, in my opinion. That's what's killing them over there. So
I mean, I thought Dayball, once they did fire him, I thought Dayball would be perfect for them, more so than Joe Brady. But give me yours, Matt. Who's your guy that should have got hired but didn't?
Should have gotten hired. Honestly, I don't really have a guy that should have gotten hired. I feel like most of the guys who got hired, should have gotten hired. I don't. Now I have a guy who got hired that probably shouldn't have, and I would say it's Todd Monken. I just don't like. You guys didn't mention them as a loser, but Cleveland was they were the worst. Like nobody wanted the job. Look at how many coaches withdrew their name from consideration for the job. Like they literally settled on Monken because they had no one else that was interested in the job. So you hire a first-time head coach at 60 years old. You have no quarterback. You have like it's just you have ownership who's always getting involved. You got the GM who kind of sacrificed the head coach who's now in Atlanta. It's a mess, and I like Monken, but unfortunately, I don't think that's a situation set up for success for him. So, I kind of thought that, unfortunately, Monken was the last person standing willing to take that job, and so.
Yeah, when they went away from Jim Schwartz, which I thought they would definitely do, is hire him. They made a mistake, I think. And hiring Monken, and I agree with you, Matt. He was the last guy standing. He's the only guy who wanted the job. Everybody else failed.
And then he alienated Schwartz in his interview, and it was like, I don't need Schwartz. I wasn't chipping Schwartz. And I'm like, oh, great. This is how you get him to stay and be your defensive coordinator, right? Just
sometimes you just need to
shut up.
Yeah. Yeah, just shut up. Talk softly, carry a big stick, and just
You think he knew Schwartz was leaving, and maybe that's why he said that stuff to like try to get ahead of him?
Well, he made sure he left after that. So
well, I mean, they actually talked after that comment, according to what I read. They actually had talked with each other about him coming back after Monken had already made those comments.
Yeah, that's terrible.
So I would have said, listen, Jim Schwartz is a great defensive coach. We would love to have him here if that's what he wants to do. But that's his decision, and I would have just moved on.
Okay,
leave it at that.
I agree. Yeah, because I mean, I see a lot of mock drafts with them taking a receiver at number 6. I'm like, why? You don't have a quarterback, okay? But I got a sneaky feeling that Deshaun Watkins is going to be, Watson's going to be that guy. So, I'm not going to go into all that stuff in this podcast, but I have reservations about that for many reasons. But most of them would be on the personal side, not the football side. So, let's talk about, Matt, I'm going to stick with you. What do you see as the biggest needs for Jesse Minter and the Ravens going into free agency, going into the combine, going into the draft? Where do they need to fill roles at? What's their biggest needs?
Obviously, I think everyone knows the Ravens need to address both lines of scrimmage, right? Defensive and offensive line. You had extremely poor guard play last year. You got to address that. I do think they have one guy that will address that. Their 3rd round pick from last year, Emory Jones from LSU. I think he'll man one of those positions, but you got to find another guy to man the other one, and then you need to draft another one. Not necessarily early, but late to just build depth, continue to build depth in that way. Defensive line, I mean, Matabike, we don't know if he's going to be medically retired. We don't know what the situation is with him. We haven't heard anything. And so you have to go into this offseason assuming he's not playing. So you need a replacement for him, and you need depth because Matabike, again, may retire. Brent Urban is probably going to retire. You have Broderick Washington, who's probably going to be released. So you don't really have a lot of depth on the defensive line outside of Travis Jones, John Jenkins, who they re-signed, and Aeneas Peoples. They don't really have a lot of depth, so they gotta do that. I think they should probably address that in free agency, and then allow the draft to be just BPA, best player available. Like I think you get in trouble going into the draft, picking for need, feeling like you got to get this at this position. You end up reaching and getting the wrong player.
Yeah, I think, in my draft philosophy has always been you take the best player available regardless, because I don't care what round you're in, you're taking the best player available to me. I mean, if it fits a need, that's great, but you don't go looking just specifically for that because what if they're a bust? So, then you're screwed. So you take the best player available, then you can find a place for him on your roster. So that's kind of how my philosophy.
Same. I kind of correlate it to going to the grocery store hungry, right? When you're hungry and you go to the grocery store, everything looks good to you. You're putting everything in your cart. You're like, oh, I want to try that. I want to try that. I want to try that, right? But when you eat first and you're not starving, you're not hungry, and you're going in now, you can look at the list and say, okay, I need to get this, I need to get that. You can be more strategic about the way you shop when you're not hungry. When you're hungry, everything looks good to you.
Yeah, my mom always told me, don't go to the grocery store hungry. So, God rest her soul. So, Sean, what do you think? You want to chime in here on the Ravens?
Yeah. I wrote down O-line and cornerback.
Yeah.
But I agree.
Okay.
I agree. Cornerback, CB. But I agree. When you do the draft, you just have to let it. The Raiders drafted 2 tight ends, one in the 3rd round, one in the 1st round, in back-to-back drafts. We didn't draft a quarterback and got Brock Bowers, and Michael and I were doing the
best player available.
Best player available, and we were happy, but we didn't know what to think. And look what happened. I mean, Hall of Fame player.
Yeah. Do you think that the Raiders should give up the first pick? Do you think the Raiders should give up the first pick and bypass Mendoza?
Oh man,
don't go. We got a long show here. You got to share the
way. It's got to be Mendoza. Got to be Mendoza.
All right, Michael. What do you think? Tell me, Michael, how does this affect the hiring of Jesse Minter? How does this affect Lamar Jackson moving forward?
I think it ensures that Lamar Jackson is going to have a defense who gets him the ball back. That was like the one thing we saw the offense really, really do well whenever Mike Mack was on the other side of the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing you see with Kubiak and Mike Mack in Seattle, right? Like Kubiak, whenever he got the ball back, he took advantage of it.
Right.
So you really just need to get him paired with a good OC, and I think Declan Doyle's a perfect fit. And I think a big part of having Minter come in and something that Minter said in his conference was like he has to have a relationship with Lamar Jackson. And Lamar Jackson's got to be, he's going to basically run that side of the ball, but with, guys to put him in a position to succeed, right? Steve and EDC, Steve Bisciotti and EDC both said that they want to get as much out of Lamar Jackson as they can. And I think they found that with Declan Doyle. I think that's going to be one of the best hires out of this coaching staff that he's built. And then they're putting guys around Declan for him to succeed too, with like Joe Lombardi. And then, I'm blanking on his last name. The receivers coach we just picked up. I think it's
Kerry something.
Yeah. I forget his last name, but yeah, Kerry. But he everything I've seen about him, he's good. And then on top of that, you got Dwayne Ledford, which I think is Kerry Colbert. Kerry Colbert. Yeah, but Dwayne Ledford on top of that, you're solidifying that run game. You're solidifying that O line. I think he's probably one of the best O line coaches in the league for sure. Maybe even the best. I think Minter's done really good with hiring around that offense to where I think that lets me know everything I need to know about Minter going forward in Lamar Jackson's career. Even if they do lose, Declan in a couple of years to a head coaching job or next year to a head coaching job, God forbid. But I think they're set. I think they got a good hire in Minter to ensure that offense is gonna hit the ground running. He said he's big on the run game. You got to establish the run. That was something I loved in his press conference. He was like, any good offense, you got to establish a run. No matter how much you want to pass, you have to be able to establish a run game. And he got the best guys to do that. So very, very excited.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you 100%. What about you, Matt? What do you think? How does this affect Lamar Jackson? Not only that, answer that and then tell me, do you think, I know one of the big things that the Ravens want to do in the offseason before the draft and before free agency is re-sign Lamar, extend him to free up some cap space. So just tell me, how do you think the hiring of Mentor will affect Lamar? And do you think the Ravens will get him re-signed before free agency starts, which I think the legal tampering period starts on March 9th. So just a month from now. So.
Yeah, it does. So I think it helps him in the way that it doesn't require him to do all the heavy lifting all the time. Meaning, if the defense is holding teams down on the scoreboard, then now Lamar doesn't have to score 35 points every game in order to win a game. They can win a game 17-10 or 25-17. You don't always have to score 35, 40. That becomes exhausting during the regular season. And by the time you get to the playoffs, you don't have much left, right? And you can't expect that type of output in the playoffs when teams are better, they're scheming better, and they have more time to prepare for you. So I think it will help in a way that the defense will be complementary to the offense. I think having a defensive-minded head coach plays a lot into that. When you think about defensive coaches, they want to control time of possession.
Mm-hmm.
They want to keep the ball out of the other team's hands, right? So I have to think that Mentor's going to put an emphasis on the running game. And meaning Derrick Henry with the running game, not so much as Lamar running the ball, but Derrick Henry running the ball 25, 27, 28 times a game, in which he probably should have been, because we all thought that the signing of Derrick Henry was to relieve Lamar Jackson from some pressure. But then they get Derrick Henry, and then, we're staring at a game against the Patriots this season, and it's the fourth quarter with 12 minutes left, and Derrick Henry's on the sideline and doesn't get another touch the rest of the game. I don't think that'll happen under Mentor. And then to answer the other question, so on my podcast, I literally just had Cordell Woodland on, who covers the Ravens. He's a beat reporter for 105.7. And I actually asked him, did he think that Lamar Jackson would be signed before free agency opened? He said no. He didn't think that, he doesn't think that they're close enough at this point, or even probably talking at this point, to expect a deal done before free agency. Now, I think that'd be a mistake if they can't get that done, because his contract really hampers them from a standpoint of being able to really be flexible in the things they want to do. EDC said in the presser that they have the money to sign some of their own free agents, but to be able to go out and add some big ticket items, some other free agents from other teams, they're going to really be hamstrung on what they can do if they don't get Lamar signed. Because you're talking about a $75.5 million cap hit. That is prohibitive, so.
Okay. What about you, Mike? What do you think?
Cole, that's my boy.
I think they'll get it done.
Motherfucker, you better get off my goddamn podcast. I don't know how the fuck you got on here.
Cole is a troll.
I do talk shit of you because I think you're a piece of fucking shit. You want me to tell everybody what you did? Show them the fucking DMs you sent me, you fucking asshole. Fucking cocksucker.
Go ahead. I actually think you can remove that if you wanted to. You can remove that.
I'm trying.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's fucking done.
There you go. It's gone.
Yeah.
Okay, so
that shows you what kind of fucking person he is. That shows you right here what kind of person you are. You face.
We'll refresh it back. It's Lamar Jackson, right? His extension. That's what we're talking about. I do think that that'll be done. Probably there's rumors that it's already verbally agreed upon. Lamar was posting some stuff on Instagram yesterday. Him getting on a plane probably to Baltimore. There's a bunch of stuff going on. Who knows, right? Like at the end of the day, that could just be people being people, right? But
hey, Mike, that was from a regular season game, by the way. I just want you to know that.
For sure. But he also posted the pic of him or the video of
him with the ball hugging.
Yeah.
So, but Lamar likes to play mind games with the fans.
For sure. But I do think it is a positive thing. I think that I never even worried about it to begin with. I knew it would get done regardless, especially after Bashotti and EDC said, no, he's our quarterback. Like, he's not going anywhere. Steve going as far to say, I'll move his contract to the void years if I have to make cap this year if we don't get a deal done. But we're getting a deal done. Like, that's like, okay, yeah, we're getting something done. So I think it is going to be before free agency. I think it's probably within the next week or two at the longest, to be honest with you. So I do see that getting done for sure.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think they're going to move anything to void years. Not on Lamar, anyways. I think the extension is going to get done. I think it's going to get done before free agency. And if not, then that's a whole nother story. But I think it will. I think Lamar's pretty happy. I don't think that he's upset with Harbaugh getting fired or bringing Jesse Mentor in. According to what we've heard and read. He sit in on all of that, so I think he's in a good place. So I think that
sure.
it will get done.
Well,
John?
Lamar being his own agent though, it's tricky.
Yeah, that's the only thing.
The only
Yeah.
thing that he has to presently be there to do the negotiations. He can't just have someone go and do it on his behalf. So I think that's why it got dragged out the first time. It got dragged out the first time, and I think there is a possibility. I hear the positive thoughts about it before free agency, but there is a possibility that this drags on into the offseason, like in the middle of the offseason. Maybe not right before free agency, but maybe it gets done like midway through free agency. But again, they have creative ways where they can still sign players, even if they don't get it done immediately, right? Because I do think it will get done. I just don't know how soon that'll be.
Right. So, Sean, what do you think on this?
I'll be quick. I'll be real quick. I think it can't be just Minter, right, who convinces Lamar that this is the best place for him. EDC has to come in and say, these are the things we're going to do. You know, he's probably already talked to the offensive coordinator about how they're going to, take care of things. What's his name? Doyle, right? So the question I have is, I don't know why GMs don't follow the Kansas City model to keeping your quarterback long term. Why not sign him to a 10-year deal, and then in 4 years they revisit? You know, give him $200 million, right? Make a big splash, and then in 4 years, because to me the dollar amount is a big deal, but the details of that contract, can he be traded? Is his money guaranteed if he gets injured? All of those details come into play, and you can protect yourself with a longer contract, and then you have this money that we're talking about to get these free agents. Was going to say somebody, but we'll get to it later. So I don't know why more. I don't know why more franchises owners
Sean, I can tell you why though. Like it takes two to tango on that. Like a player has to be willing to sign a 10-year contract. Most players don't want to be committed that long to a franchise. They like to get bites at the apple every few years, right? Kind of what Lamar did with his contract. He just signed a contract 3 years ago, and now he's already basically up for an extension. They don't want to be locked in for 10 years. I think that was a unique thing between Mahomes and the Chiefs. They kind of gave him some ownership within the organization and let him know, like, look, we're partners on this. I don't think isn't like that everywhere, basically, is what I'm trying to say.
I agree. And I think, this is something that Al Davis used to do. He'd sign somebody to a huge contract. Everybody would call him a dumbass. And then a year or two later, when that player performed or didn't perform, nothing changed or something changed. So he signed somebody to a large contract. They don't perform. It came out very quietly.
Mm-hmm.
So-and-so took a pay reduction. I don't know how he did that, but he was able to do it. And I think, again, it's not necessarily that term, the money or the distance. You could have something written there saying, hey, we're going to revisit in the 4th year. Yeah. Escalators, you do this, we will do this. We'll revisit after 4 years, and then you keep, because, and it's a risk for the team as well. If the guy ends up not being good, you don't want to be on the hook for 10 years. So I think there's a give and take there that allows it to happen, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen with Lamar.
Yeah. No,
he's going to get a standard contract.
I think we're pretty safe. Like I said, Michael, check your.
Yeah, I did. I already responded. I don't have an open invite, so I'm not sure. All I did was.
You sent it via Twitter.
Yeah, well, I just tweeted out the YouTube link. So
yeah,
all he'd have to do is go to YouTube himself.
Yeah, well, we're gonna fix that, but just know he's not invited on this show ever.
No, yeah, for sure, I get that. Yeah, I'm not. I don't follow the guy. I don't think.
Yeah, well, me and him have a long-standing feud. He's threatened me and all kinds of shit, dude. So he's a piece of shit. So, but we're not going to get into all that. So let's keep on rolling. What are we going to do with Marlon Humphrey? It wasn't you, Matt, but somebody they asked a question on Twitter today. Did we misuse Marlon Humphrey? Did we not put him in the proper position to be successful.
Mhm.
And somebody come back, because I said no, that's not the case. Somebody replied to that saying, well, I disagree because he's better in the slot, even though he got cooked in the slot too. And I said, well, that's my point. Okay, he doesn't excel anywhere anymore.
No.
Okay, he's not a good coverage corner. He's not good in the slot. He gets beat all the time. So what but free if you cut him loose, or if you can dump him off for some assets, what do you think we should do with that guy? Because I mean, if you cut him loose, you're freeing up about $7 million in cap space, I think. So what do you think, Matt?
Yeah, I think they got to let him go. He's a $26 million cap hit this year. He's not playing on that contract.
Yeah.
He will not play for the Ravens for $26 million. And he also has no guaranteed money left on his deal. He's probably gone. From the people I've talked to close to the situation, I think it's over with for Marlon. Now they do still own his rights, and I think they would be better off trading him than just outright releasing him. I kind of even asked the question in one of my spaces today that the Giants have a piece on their team that kind of the similar situation with Kayvon Thibodeau. Kayvon Thibodeau is due $15 million this year, and if they trade him pre-June 1st, it's no dead cap, and he's gone.
Right.
The Ravens need an edge rusher. Giants need a corner. Why don't they just swap the players out? You send Marlon to New York with John Harbaugh, and you send Thibodeau to the Baltimore Ravens with Jesse Minter, who is known to be able to get the most out of young pass rushers who have underperformed, a la Odafe Owe, right? We casted Owe off last year. Oh, he's not good. He can't do anything. He goes to the Chargers and he performs well. Thibodeau is a guy similar, dealt with injuries, haven't quite lived up to that top 10 draft pick that he was. And I think Minter could really get him going. So that's kind of my suggestion on it. But I do think Marlon is gone after the season.
Yeah, I kind of feel that way too. What about you, Michael? What do you think on that regard?
So similar. I think the right choice would be to trade him. I'm just tired of his antics off the field on top of his lackluster on the field performance. Just the whole running podcast during the season talking about going on hot dog world tours, and it's like, come on, dude. Especially when you're losing games, right? Like that's just not a good look for the franchise. Like business wise, that's not what you want your players doing. But outside of that, yeah, he's underperformed. I do think that Zach Orr probably didn't put him in the best positions to excel. So I think some of the on-the-field regression isn't solely on him. I think there is a lot on him, but I would say it's also Zach Orr not knowing how to scheme a defense well. But yeah, no, I agree with Matt. I hadn't heard the New York idea. I like that idea with Thibodeau. I'd also you brought up another familiar name, Owe. I wouldn't see a reason why we wouldn't be able to trade him out to the Chargers and get Owe back. I think Owe kind of got the shit into the stick there in that whole ordeal because he just came off 11 sack season with Zach Orr as his DC, and then we trade him out because he didn't get a sack in 4 games. But Zach Orr was doing his antics again on the football field. So
you wouldn't have to trade for Owe though. He's a free agent, unrestricted.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, that is true. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, you could just sign him.
Either for picks or maybe Kayvon like you mentioned, Matt. I just say get him off the team though. If you're gonna want to keep him, it better be a short-term kind of 1-year extension. Don't take that cap hit, and then try to shop him next year maybe. If he underperforms again, I do think that if you did retain him somehow or it doesn't detriment the team and our cap, I think he could be a solid player for us again. I know in an interview he said he ran the fastest he ran the offseason before this year. So I mean that's something. I don't think he's really taken a step back athletically. I think a lot of it did have to do with coaching and technique and just not playing as physical as he did in the past. So maybe Jesse Minter would be able to revitalize that. I mean, we saw just what Jesse Minter did in LA. I think he could do the same thing with a guy like Marlon, who's been an All-Pro before. But I just wouldn't prefer that situation to be a thing personally. But
because
I think they'll make the right decision.
Yeah, I kind of look at it like even if he hasn't regressed physically or on the field, he's a disruptive or a distractive force for the team.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah,
tell, you can definitely tell Lamar Jackson gets frustrated with him. Okay, like all the shit on the airplane. Lamar wants to kick back, relax. You're just coming off a loss, and you're wanting to get up in the dude's face, and you can tell Lamar just wants to punch him in the face. So it's just like, enough of that. Enough. I feel like his biggest problem, because I agree with you, Michael. I don't think he's not talented. I don't think he's regressed to the point where he can't be a serviceable cornerback. But I do think that his head is other places. He's got other, like he wants to do the Glizzy tour. He wants to do the podcast. He wants, it's like, dude.
It feels like he's setting up his career after football while he's still playing football,
right,
which isn't fair to the organization that's paying him millions of dollars. It just doesn't make sense. I get wanting to set yourself up for the future. I know he wants to be a commentator in the future. I'm sure he will be, and I think he'll be a great one at that.
Oh yeah, I think he's well spoken.
Yeah, but like now, brother, you're playing football. It's the National Football League. It's time to lock in. Your team's fucking 1-5, 2-5 at the beginning of the season, and you're sitting here talking about a Glizzy World Tour. Like, it's just there's time and a place. There's times and places. Neither one of those times and place lined up this year. It just did not work.
I saw him at the he was at the Seattle Seahawks parade today, apparently.
Yeah.
He posted that.
He was. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's kind of what I'm talking about. He's not focusing on.
Why are you not in the weight room?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, has he even said anything about Jesse Minter, like his new head coach? Has he even?
Nah.
I haven't seen anything.
He was doing all that talking during the season, and then after the season, all these things happen, and he's really, really quiet. I think that kind of lets us know that they probably already had a talk with him, like, hey, we're probably going to be shopping trades around for you come March. Is it March 3rd that they're allowed to start talking about it?
Yeah. So they can. So basically, once free agency starts,
11th, right?
Yeah, once free agency starts, then players can be traded and all that.
Okay.
Yeah. Because free agency, I mean, you can actually start signing free agents on March 11th when the new league year starts at 4 p.m.
The tampering period. Yeah, you can start agreeing.
It starts on the 9th, so you got that 3 days there. You can, mess around, and you pretty much got your guys already picked out and signed. Basically, all you got to do is put it on the document. So
I was about to say, by the time we get to the 11th, all the deals will be done.
Yeah. So speaking of free agency, let's talk a little bit about free agency. I'm going to just name. I don't have all the free agents for the Ravens on my list, and a few of them for obvious reasons. The guard that whose name I mentioned. If they sign him back, I'm going to be extremely upset.
Shout out to you.
Okay, so So here's what I want, and Sean, chime in here. I want a yay or nay. Should the Ravens try to re-sign these guys? Okay, Tyler Linderbaum, Matt.
Yeah, absolutely.
Michael.
100 million%. That should be the second one right after Lamar.
Yeah, I agree 100% with that. He should be the right next one after Lamar. Sean?
Yeah. You can't let your center, let your Pro Bowl center walk out the door.
Have it be same day. Have them sign the wall at the same time.
Yeah. So here's next. I'm going to ask this one, and I know there's going to be some different opinions here because I differ on this. Isaiah Likely. Sean?
Yes, I think he should be signed. I mean, should he sign a record deal? I don't know, but he should be re-signed. Well, I think he should be re-signed.
He wants like 13-14 million. I'm not giving him that. So,
again, I always think it's always these conversations like this much money. It's like, well, what if he could be? What if you give him that, but you could trade him next year?
Nah, I don't want him. I want him for 14 million.
The details are what matter. But
my honest opinion, I'd rather sign Charlie Kolar over Isaiah Likely. I think if given if he was given the plays, the playing time, the reps that Isaiah Likely was given, I think he could be just as good. Okay, because he was just as good, if not better, in college. Michael, what do you think?
I'm also a yes. I think that Mark Andrews' deal that he signed last year is
that was crazy.
more. Well, I think it's more structured to be like a 1 year. So I think this would be Mark Andrews' last season, and I think you do your best to try to get Isaiah Likely and Kolar back if you can. And if you have to miss out on one of them, I think you go later round in the draft, grab a guy. That's been something that Eric DeCosta has been good at. But I'd love to have Likely and Kolar be our two tight ends going forward. I think you could make it happen. The league's giving you an extra 20 to 25 mil this year. You're going to extend Lamar, get probably 30 to 50, somewhere in that range of cap space freed up just off that alone. And then you make some stuff work with Roquan's contract. You make some stuff work with Matabike's contract because I think you're going to have to try to restructure that, knowing he's a potential bomb waiting to explode on you as far as cap is concerned if he gets injured again. There's a lot of stuff they can do where I think they'll have the cap to be able to retain Likely and Kolar if you wanted to go after it. So,
yeah, because I mean, once you sign Lamar Jackson, you're freeing up anywhere from depending on the contract, you're freeing up 25 to maybe 30 million, 35 million. So that gives you a lot more flexibility with the cap. When you're going after some of these other assets. What do you think, Matt?
Yeah, so it gives you flexibility with the cap, but do you really want to invest all of that into the tight end position? I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you're talking about a non-premium position. I like Isaiah Likely just as much as anybody else, but to be honest, it's a business, and he is a replaceable asset.
Yeah,
Isaiah Likely's all up and through this draft and next draft. I just hate to say it, but like he's a replaceable asset. I would have liked to see him get the deal that Andrews got, but since they've already paid Andrews, makes no sense to go and pay Likely as well. So,
yeah, because I mean, you got a Max Klein, you got a Roush out of Stanford, you've got you've got or Max Clare.
Yeah, Max Clare, I like him. Yeah, and then you also have Baylor.
You're not going to get Sadiq because he's going to go first round probably.
Yeah, the kid from Baylor, I like him a lot.
Triggs,
and then I also like the kid from Ole Miss. He reminds me of Likely a lot.
Right,
actually. Yeah. So it's not worth it like that. That's the Ravens' problem. They've been investing a lot of money into non-premium positions, tight end, safety, all of these positions that don't really they lift your floor, but they don't raise your ceiling, right? So this is why we can't get over the hump, because you need that number one receiver to get over the hump. You need that left tackle. You need that quarterback. You need that cornerback, right? And we don't have those players because we've been investing in non-premium positions.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with you, Matt. I couldn't agree more. Like I said, if I'm going to re-sign one of those guys, if Isaiah Likely's asking me for $13-14 million, I'm sorry. Good luck, with your next team. Yeah. You can get Charlie Kolar for a third of that. A third of that. So why not re-sign him for 2-3 years? Bring in one from the draft, because there's in the fourth, fifth round. There are a lot of tight ends in that category right there in those rounds that would make, that would fill that role that, would be just as good in my view. Okay. I like Likely. I loved him coming out of Coastal Carolina, but I'm not paying him $14 million right now. I'm not.
Not after the season he just had either.
Yeah, exactly. He's got good hands and stuff, but we've seen him drop balls. We've seen him fumble. We've seen him do a lot of stupid things too, because he's another one that seems like his head's not in the game all the time. Right. So, what about Awuzie?
If you can get him back for cheap, for sure.
Yeah. What do you think, Michael? Should we try to get Awuzie back?
I'm the same. I'm fine with that. Yeah, as long as he's cheap. I think he was honestly probably our best defender last year at times. I think he
was at times.
He played lights out at times.
Yeah.
Besides that blown coverage play on the Steelers where he slipped. Let's not talk about it though. But we'll move on. But aside from that, he played great that season. I'd be happy to have him back.
Yeah, I like Awuzie. I'd bring him back. I wouldn't give you top dollar, but I'd bring him back if I could get him for half price.
Yeah, solid bet. I think Mickens would do really good with him.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I agree.
I think Awuzie is one of those guys that you don't want to create a hole where there is none. So maybe he's what I would call like you're transitioning out of him. So you sign him for 1 year till you get somebody to back him up, or maybe 2 years with the intent of either trading him or letting him go outright on the second year. But to just let him go and then say, okay, well, let's replace this production that we had might be a little bit harder than it and it's
I like TJ Tampa too, though. I think he needs more opportunities.
Tampa a lot.
I think he needs more opportunities, and to be honest, I think Awuzie might follow John. I mean, you got to remember a lot of these guys signed with John as the head coach, and now he's looking for some of the same positions that we're looking for. So
yeah, you're right. I think one of those guys that will end up following John Harbaugh is our Darius Washington.
Oh man, I was hoping you wouldn't say that, but yeah, you might be right. That's one that I want back.
I just got a feeling because I think the Giants will pay him more than the Ravens will.
They would.
I think that a lot of these guys that on the defensive side of the ball, particularly, are gonna want to play for Mentor. I think they're gonna want to, because think about, you stick with Mentor for 1 year if you're a guy like Awuzie, right, and you play your lights out because you have a really good coach, that ups your market for the next year.
But it's about relationships though. Like
yeah.
Awuzie and Mentor don't know each other, right? Like he does. Like Awuzie knows John. He doesn't know Mentor, right? Now you might be definitely right on Washington. Washington played. I believe he was here when Mentor was the secondary coach. So
yeah,
but Awuzie, he's more of just a real free agent where he's just going to go with.
Do you think part of it's going to be okay, who's going to give me the better shot to succeed? Because I mean, if I'm a player, I'm looking at, okay, what coach is going to put me in the best position to where I'm going to look good on film next year, to where if I'm not,
don't sleep. Again. The Giants D coordinator is Denard Wilson now.
True, that's true. That's true.
They don't have Zach Orr anymore. They got Denard Wilson, so he's the secondary guy, and he really did a good job with us and with the Titans. So I think it would be more of a situation where will you get the most opportunity? I think in New York, they need corners bad. They don't even have a number one. At least we got Wiggins. They don't even have a number one. So he could go there and kind of have a big role,
I agree. That's why I said, I kind of look at it that way, is some of these guys we're talking about are going to end up in New York or maybe some other places even. But, and then there's Draymond Jones. I'm trying to re-sign him. Now, I'm not giving him top dollar, if that's what he's on, he's going to have to keep looking. But, when he came on, how many games did he play with us? 8? And he was the best edge rusher we had. Of course, 1 is better than 0, which is what we had before him. So
it wasn't hard to get better than that, right?
Yeah. So
he was one of the best tackles too for us. Whenever
yeah.
I mean,
he got a lot of pressure. He got a lot of pressure.
I think Mentor would like to have him back, just because he's a chess piece on the D line that you can move around. If you bring in a young edge in the draft, right? Like say you trade up for a David Bailey or something like that, or if you go for Cassius Howell or Zion Young, who I've seen, 2nd and 3rd round. If you go with something like that where you want to develop them on the edge, you can have a solid vet who can rush on the edge, but then also be on the field for you at tackle, and do something there. So, I think he's a piece they should try to get back for sure. But like you said, again, not breaking anything, as far as the not breaking the piggy bank open to get him. But if you can get him back, I think his market's, it's nothing crazy. I think it's like 10 to 15, somewhere in that.
Yeah, I think it's like ballpark. Somewhere. I think a good number would be 11 and some change, probably.
Yeah.
Let me ask a question. Do you guys think that the Ravens are in reload or rebuild?
Reload.
Yeah, they're reload. Okay.
Yeah, reload.
So for me on the Draymond Jones though, I'm a little different. It's a no for me, right? The reason being is that, like you just said, Mike, he looked great because we were so bad, right? Mm-hmm. So like when you haven't eaten all day, a piece of bread is like a meal to you, right?
A gourmet meal.
Yeah, you're desperate, right? So he looked good on a bad defense. Mm-hmm. I think the Ravens could actually upgrade. I think they should look to upgrade. They should be looking at a Trey Hendrickson or a Jalen Phillips, or somebody, or a Boye Mafe. Like why? Like that's the problem. We've been shopping in the bargain bin for years, right? Like, do you want to fix the issue, or do you want to continue to put Band-Aids on it? So I think you can upgrade. To me, re-signing Draymond Jones is like, it's like settling. It's like, well, he's safe, like we know him or whatever. Like, nah, just go try to improve that side, because you already got Mike Green, the young piece, on the one side. You need someone on the other side that he can learn from and also work in tandem with. So it would be a no for me.
Yeah, well, and I understand that, and I'm good with that, because I mean, you know, he didn't come in and blow anybody away, but like you said, he's better than nothing, which is what we had before he came in. So, you know, Michael mentioned that too. So then you got another guy, same thing, Kyle Van Noy. You bring
absolutely no.
Yeah.
No, he's
Yeah,
done.
I see people say, "Oh yeah, I want Van Noy." No, let him go. Let him go.
Done. He's done.
Yeah, he's been here what 3-4 years.
Respect to him. Respect to him. He's
no, I like Van Noy. Shout out to Van Noy, but I think
shout out to Van Noy, but I'm good. His time is up.
The clock has struck 12 for him.
Yeah, I agree. I agree 100%. I love what he did while he was here, but it's time to move on. Like you said, Matt, go out in the draft, get somebody, or go out free agency. I definitely agree on Trey Hendrickson, Jalen Phillips. You know, Boye Mafe.
I really like Jalen Phillips. I think the Trey Hendrickson, I think he'd be great, almost like a Max Crosby-esque peak. I don't know piece. I don't know if he'd do the same as far as impact, but he definitely is up there in that caliber. I think Jalen Phillips would be the better option between the two. Only because he's younger, and I think a guy like Minter is going to develop him, and Weaver too. A lot of it we're forgetting.
Yeah, you can have him for more than a couple years.
Exactly. Like we're going to develop that kid into something special. I think he'd be a great fit here, and he's going to be cheaper. So I think you can, and that'll allow you to make, if you wanted to make the move at Likely or Kolar, maybe throw the bank at guys like Chidobia. Yeah, exactly. But you like going with Phillips, you free up a little bit more cap than you would.
No, you do. Yeah. Also, hit Lewis no nugget. So in the 2021 draft, the Ravens wanted Jalen Phillips. He got picked by Miami a couple of spots before they did, and they ended up drafting Oweh instead. So here's your second chance to go out and get him. Also, EDC mentioned during the presser with Steve Washadi that they were close to making a trade deadline trade for a pass rusher. And remember, Jalen Phillips was the only one that got traded. Yeah. He's the only one that got traded during the trade deadline. So makes me believe that was who they was trying to get.
Yeah, that may you know, I feel like that Jalen Phillips is going to be a top target, and I do think they'll get him. Yeah. I think they really want him. Like you said, Matt, I think they wanted him this past season. I think they'll go out there and make an effort to really bring him in, and I think he'll be excited to come in and work with Jesse Minter. So DeAndre Hopkins, Jordan Stout, Alohi Gilman. I'm definitely up for signing Hopkins back. Okay. I am. I'm not giving him, you know, of course, it depends on how much money he wants. You know, if he's going to sign for the same thing he did this year, I'm bringing him back. If he's not, because, I mean, I guess I should qualify that, if you're going to utilize him as the weapon that he is and still can be, I think. I'm not giving him a long-term deal. I might give him a year, maybe two, but that's it. But I would bring him back. I mean, for no other reason. He's a veteran presence that can still go up there and get those contested balls. So, you know, that's just kind of how I'm looking at it. What do you think there, Sean, on that one?
Hopkins is long in the tooth. You know, he's not going to be. It's not that I don't think he doesn't still have value. I think, is he going to want to re-sign on a reloading team, or is he going to try to squeak in? You know, some like let's say the Seahawks lose Sheed to somebody. Is he going to try to squeak in there so he can maybe get a run at the Super Bowl?
Well, that's the thing. He's always been a money chaser. He's never really chased a title. I mean, the dude was with the Titans, you know. Then he went to, you know, who else? Who did he go to?
Kansas City for a little while, a year or two.
You know, he's been a money chaser. So, you know, I like I said, if we can get him for the same thing, I'm signing him for another year. But other than that, see you later. What do you think, Michael?
I'm in agreement with you. I think we bring in a young guy in the draft. I know a lot of people. I think Matt has pitched Malik Neighbors or Neighbors or not. Why am I saying Malik Neighbors? I'm thinking Mekhi Lemon. Yeah. I think if he falls to us, I hope he does. If he falls to us and none of our edges that we'd want are available there, you grab him up and then get a guy like D Hop as your four to you know, coach that guy up, you know, give him a vet's perspective. Ravens love veteran receivers. I think D-Hop wants to be back.
Yeah, I think
I think he will be cheap. And then, like you were saying, where, you know, when it comes to us underutilizing him, if you look at Ben Johnson, Honestly, one of his fatal flaws is he utilizes his receiver 4 too much at times. In clutch moments, like he moves the ball around, and I think Declan Doyle is gonna have a similar kind of mindset. Is spread the ball out to all of your guys, not just wide receiver 1 and 2. And I think that he'd fit in that system and at least get some utilization where he'd be happy. And he knows we're a contender. I want to rephrase Sean's thing on the reload or rebuild. I think it's more of a rechamber. I think we're just chambering around. I don't think that we need a full-on like reload, a brand new mag. I think we just need a new bigger bullet, right? Like a 50 cal bullet in the chamber to take a shot with, and I think we do that in the draft. And I think he's ready for that.
The only reason why I mentioned it is the cap is so like, look at Kansas City. They got $5, so they got to do something, right? They can't wheel out Mahomes with another brace on his knee and think that, Kelsey's going to be the Kelsey of old. He was only playing I think he's playing like 40% of the snaps, something like that. And so this could be a time where where DeCosta's like, I don't know, maybe we should just rebuild all of this because the cap is the way that it is. And so when I say rebuild, I mean like some of the things that we're talking about are some of the players that we're talking. There's a lot of players you're talking about. We should re-sign him. And before you said that we started talking about him, it was like, hey, if we don't extend Lamar, what are you going to re-sign him with?
Well, first of all, as we talked about, and I think Matt and Michael both are in agreement with me on this, as we talked about earlier, I do think Lamar is going to extend. I do think that he will do it a lot sooner this year because basically I think I think Bisciotti mentioned in the press conference at the end of the year when they fired Harbaugh, I think he mentioned, well, we're going to sign him to the same contract, just give him more money. Okay. I think with a few exceptions that Lamar would be on board with that. Okay. Because I also think Lamar is going into his 9th year. Okay. He's taken a beating. And what he's going to tell the team is, if you protect me and if you give me weapons and you give me a defense that can keep me off the field, then I will give you a team-friendly deal. Okay?
Yeah.
If you're not going to do that, tell me now, and I'll see you fuckers later. Okay? So,
I actually pitched that idea on his first extension that he should kind of take like a Brady kind of approach where Brady gave the Patriots friendly deals to get weapons built around him at times. And I agree with you. I think he might take that approach this time around. Especially with the additional cap from the league. I think he'll be willing to have that talk.
I agree.
Get something done.
Will he be able to call his shot? Like, I want you to bring in X wide receiver.
You know what? I
mean, he did that before with OBJ, but
Yeah,
and he did it with D-Hop too. He wanted both of those guys. So, but
as long as it's not insanely unreasonable, I think they're willing to hear him out on it. It's like Steve said, we have his input, I have the power, kind of thing. But I think he'll definitely hear him out. Yeah, I think he'll hear him out and be like, "Oh, you want AJ Brown? Let me see what I can do. If it makes sense, I can make it happen." Right?
Yeah,
that's going to be the mentality.
Yeah, for me, it's no on D-Hop too. Like no D-Hop. Like he's like Sean said, he's too long in the tooth. He's holding on by a thread.
I'm good with that.
It's valid.
He's the offensive. What's his name? Kyle Van Noy.
Yeah, he's the equivalent.
He can play. Yeah. He can do it. Should we invest in somebody younger?
It's time to go.
I can agree with that. I can agree with it.
I thought we were moving on to a new era, right? Of Ravens football, not doing the same old thing we've been doing.
I think if we keep him, I'm not mad. I think it's an okay choice, and I think if we let him go, I'm not mad. I think it's an okay choice. I think it's whatever happens with him, I'm okay with.
Yeah, I agree with that because I definitely think, again, going back to what Sean brought up, I think we're reloading. I think that Super Bowl window is still open.
Yeah.
Okay. But Lamar's going into year 9. Mm-hmm. Okay. Then you got year 10, and in year 10, he hits 30 years old. Mm-hmm. Okay. I think Lamar can play 15 to 16, 18 years maybe if if
They
protect him and as what he is, their investment, their biggest asset.
Yep.
Okay, so if they protect him and keep him healthy, then he can play into that. I mean, the dude is phenomenal. We know that. So you got to keep him off the injury report, and you got to keep him on the practice.
I mean, he's shown he can be arguably one of the best, pocket passers of all time.
Oh yeah,
in the pocket. If you can
Yeah.
put a solid, clean pocket around him, he'll light
all
the
those,
football field up. So
I agree. All those idiots talking about, he can't pass. Well, that's because you don't know what the hell you're looking at. So
I'd remind you, 41-4.
yeah, exactly, and the highest passer rating ever.
All time.
Yeah. So real quick for you two guys, I'm not going to ask you this, Sean, because it's really. Did John Harbaugh hold this team back?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I know Matt will agree with me. Hell yeah. John Harbaugh held the team back.
Yeah.
So one thing I think I was actually talking about this in a space I did yesterday with a couple of guys. I think the defense the last couple of years really suffered because of John Harbaugh.
Yeah, I agree.
Not only with promoting Zach Orr, but also he said, I mean, it's on record that he said that he wanted to have more influence on the X's and O's on both sides of the ball. And I think that comes into play whenever you look at something like us running away from the run game in 2023 against the Chiefs. We ran the ball 6 times in the second half. I think he was a big proponent of that. He said, "Oh, we can't run the ball, Todd. Switch it up. Let's throw the ball." That kind of stuff is gone. He didn't only hold us back when it comes to player personnel, like starting a guy like Falele, no matter come hell, rain, sleet, or snow. He was like, get Falele's ass out there. But even with personnel decisions on top of that, I think he did some stuff schematically towards the end there that was holding the team back. So yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah, Matt. What do you? I feel like you're going to agree, but what do you think?
Yeah. I think Harbaugh's time had expired. He was no longer what was best for the team, and that had been the case for a few years, honestly, not just last year.
Before
just
Lamar got
the
drafted.
the decision making as far as like who he put in charge. I said it when the moment they announced that Zach Orr was going to be defensive coordinator. I said it was a mistake. You don't take a team who was just in the AFC Championship game, who just had a triple crown defense, and hand it over to a play caller who's never called plays. You don't do that. And not only did he never call plays, but he only been coaching just like a handful of years. You literally turned the triple crown defense over to him, and then look what happened. Since that triple crown, we've gone down and down. I mean, I think the beginning of 2024, they were like 28th, 29th. And pass defense,
something like that.
Yeah, pass defense, and then this year the bottom completely fell out. So, he was more interested in hiring his buddies and keeping the train rolling, not necessarily changing things, right? And when he said during the offseason before last season that when they asked him, "Is it Super Bowl bust?" and he said, "No, it's not Super Bowl bust," I'm like,
terrible
what?
mentality.
Your owner already said it's Super Bowl bust.
Yeah.
So what do you mean it's not Super Bowl bust? So that's when I knew he was checked out. He was done.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, we all know Lamar Jackson saved his job in 2018. Okay, we all know that because they were 4-5. Flacco was hurt. Flacco wasn't playing very well himself. The offense was struggling. Defense wasn't playing well. And Lamar come in and they went 6-1 and went to the playoffs. Okay, so he saved his job. Let me kind of extend that a little bit. Why do you think, Matt? Why do you think that John Harbaugh hasn't hired Zach Orr with the Giants after making him a DC here?
We all know why. He realized he knew the whole time that this guy was unqualified. But there are a lot of Ravens fans who kind of subscribe to this, and I really didn't at first. But it did feel like at the end Harbaugh was surrounding himself with coaches that he was not threatened by, guys that he didn't think could take his job, guys he didn't think that could replace him. Right? Mike McDonald was a little too scary for him which is why, you know, it was like, oh yeah, I'm glad to see this guy go, right? He's like a legit replacement. You know, Weaver left after that year. Mike McDonald left after the year. Denard Wilson left. Yeah, Gary Kubiak. He didn't really want Gary there. He didn't like to be surrounded by guys that could, you know, succeed him. So he knew Zach Orr was like, yeah, there's no way this guy's ever going to be a head coach, and at least nowhere in the near future. And so I can control him. I can tell him what to do. I don't, you know, I'm not worried about him leaving. None of these things. It was safe. But I think he realized once he got to New York, like, if you take Zach Orr with you, you're going to probably be fired in 2 seasons. You know, he might be fired in 2 seasons anyway. I'm about to say he might be anyway with the hires he made. I mean, he brought back Greg Roman and Matt Nagy. I mean, Lord, are you trying to win? I mean, I don't know. But So
Michael, chime in here.
Yeah, no. I think that he single-handedly is going to be the reason why Zach Orr might never coach football again. Like Zach Orr's struggling to get position coaching. And I genuinely like a lot of Ravens fans hate Zach Orr. I hate Harbaugh. I hate Harbaugh even more for what he did to Zach Orr. I think
putting him in that situation.
Zach Orr, exactly. He put Zach Orr in the worst possible situation to succeed, and then hung him out to dry. And then on top of that, didn't bring him to the Giants after he bet on him last 2 years. It feels like a big FU to Zach Orr, and I really hope Zach Orr can bounce back, man. I don't know if I'd like him on the Ravens ever again, but if he can get a job somewhere, man, I'd love that for him. I think he completely railroaded his career by doing that to him. You should have known bringing in Dean Pease in year 1 of the Zach Orr experiment that you needed to move on from that and maybe demote him and bring somebody new into the building.
Yeah.
He didn't do that, and like Matt said, he didn't want anybody challenging him.
Right. He wanted all yes men.
Yeah, Gary Kubiak is I mentioned that name, and Matt agreed. Great and strong-minded coach. And whenever like Steve Bisciotti is on record saying that he wished he could have got Gary Kubiak back. That's the reason me and Matt had talked about it before in some of his spaces. That's a reason why we wanted Clint was. You know, Steve loves the Kubiaks. He loved Gary. He didn't want Gary to walk out of the building, but John was okay with it and wanted him gone because he challenged John. John did not like to be challenged. And I think that's a big reason why he did the things that he did with Zach Orr. So I'm sad for Zach.
This is also the same coach. But this is also the same coach who interviewed Kyle Shanahan and then decided to hire what's the guy's name? It was the Bears.
That tells me all you need to know. He don't even remember his
name.
He
was the Bears head coach. He was the former Bears head coach when Matt Forte was there. He came from the CFL, and basically they interviewed Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan wanted certain controllables, and Mark Trestman, that's what it was, Mark Trestman.
Oh, so
he interviewed Kubiak. I mean, he interviewed Shanahan and said, "Nah, I don't want to give you all that control over the offense. I'm gonna just hire Mark Trestman, the guy who had just got fired from Chicago, to be my OC." Like he just hired Matt Nagy, who the Chiefs didn't even he didn't get a job with somewhere. Like they just didn't want him back. They hired Eric Bieniemy and said, "Yeah, now you can."
They brought Bieniemy back and let him.
Yeah, they said you can go. You know, good luck.
Yeah, I feel like Harbaugh, and even with the staff that he's putting together in New York, I feel like he wants all yes men. He wants everybody to think that he's the smartest guy in the room, and you're all below me, and I'm a god. Even I've got a Super Bowl victory. Whatever. So
he already kind of. Yeah, I was just about to say he's taken away some power from Joe Shane, so that's it's already going to be a mess. It's going to be a mess.
He wants to report directly to the owner. He had that implemented in his contract. Like, that dude. If you really look at John Harbaugh and realize what he is for what he is, he, in my opinion, is a organizational cancer.
Yeah, it's going to be a mess.
Really, really bad. So
I think Ozzie and Steve and Eric, they kept him controlled, right? They were able to control the situation because the Ravens are a front office led team. They're not really led by like a coach or anything like that. You take him and you put him in New York and you just let him run free. I think you're asking for trouble because you don't have anyone that can kind of quote unquote keep the leash on him. He's already getting power that he never had here. Like he's gonna I don't know, man. Be careful what you ask for. That's all I can say.
Well,
I
yeah,
actually think the last couple of years were him getting some more power in the Ravens building.
Yeah.
I think he bullied Eric DeCosta just a little bit at
Yeah.
times, which is
I think
where
that
you
was
see
part of
it's
the
going to be
problem.
bad in New York. Exactly. Yeah, I think it's going to be bad in New York, like Matt said. We'll see. They got a really hard schedule coming up too, so I think they're going to be a 4-13 team again. And
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's not a good look as a first year. So
Well, here's the thing too. The difference in the franchises you've got, although the Giants have been around for forever, and the Maras go way back in the league. Wellington Mara or whoever the hell's in charge of it now is no Steve Bisciotti. Steve Bisciotti's not going to put up with your bullshit. Okay, so like you said, because it's a front office organization, and already you're seeing, like you all were talking about, that John Harbaugh is overstepping, Joe Shane and everybody else in the building. So he's already making enemies, I'll guarantee you. So you had that 4-13 season this year, then you're on notice for year 2. You come back with a 6-11, you're probably out the freaking door. So I think, and I think I just don't think it can happen to a nicer person. So anyways, so let's move on from that. Let's talk a little bit, Sean. I apologize, brother. We're not
no
much Raiders.
It's okay.
We will. You and I will get together on it.
Michael knows that I am not a Harbaugh fan, and I've never been a Harbaugh fan.
Yeah,
never. So as soon as Newsom stepped down, that was that was Harbaugh's magic, was Newsom's drafting and his genius in handling a roster. Once that went away, I'm not saying DeCosta's bad. I just don't think he's Ozzie Newsome. And so once that stopped happening, you stopped getting these like diamonds in the rough that would be these 5th round players that you draft that become Pro Bowlers. That hadn't happened a lot lately, and it happened a lot under Newsom. And then he didn't miss on first rounders.
Yeah,
I don't care if it's the 32nd pick. You can't miss on a first rounder.
Well, he didn't, because he drafted Lamar Jackson. That was his last pick, last first round pick, number 32. So let's move on.
My disgust with Harbaugh is personal. Not that I've ever met him. I just
yeah. Let's talk a little bit about the draft. Now, in recent days, Matt, or really just today, I saw you post a number 8 out of Ohio State, and that you were hearing things.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I know for a fact who number 8 for Ohio State is.
Mm-hmm.
And I know some people had him up 1 or 2 or 3. Mm-hmm. And now you're saying you're hearing things where he could slide down there. What are you hearing, my man?
Yes, sir.
You can't tell us, that's fine. But
no,
what makes you think that? Or what are you?
So I'm in touch with a number of like NFL scouts and people around the league who cover different teams, and just from being at the Senior Bowl and having conversations with people down there, there's talks that Arvell Reese is not like the shoe-in top 5 pick that everybody assumes. The reason being is that he's really a man without a true position. He's not a real true edge rusher. He has some limitations as an off-ball linebacker as far as experience goes and some things like that. And he was put in some bad situations when it comes to coverage and things like that. But people look at the athletic profile and they see that some of the flash plays that he had at Ohio State, and they say, well, this guy is just a slam dunk, but whatever. But now that we get in the process where the evaluation starts and the conversation starts, and you're starting to break down the player like they do every single player, they break them down, from top to bottom. Are you drafting a guy in the top 5 that doesn't have a position? Like, is he an edge rusher? He can, but if you look at most of the sacks, they were on blitzes and stunts.
Yeah, he's more of an inside linebacker.
He's more of an inside linebacker, right? And so obviously you wouldn't probably take an inside linebacker top 5, right? But the assumption is he's going to be an edge rusher in the NFL. So he's kind of has this, he's like no man's land when it comes to whether he's an edge rusher, whether he's an off-ball linebacker. What is he? And the same thing is the conversations being had with Ruben Bain. Is he a 3 technique? Is he an edge rusher? He's got short arms. He's not the prototypical size. These are the things that are going to come up in these conversations where these guys are going to get knocked a little bit. Now, the thing that benefits these guys is that it's pretty weak draft when it comes to the top. when it comes to the ceiling. It's a really good floor, really good depth of the draft. I was telling people in the space, I think it's more of a floor raising draft more than a ceiling raising draft. I think if you really want to get depth and build up the floor of your team, this is a great draft for that. But if you're looking for someone to take you over the top, the ceiling, this is not it, right? Because the best players in this draft are at non-premium positions, right? You look at linebacker, you look at safety, you look at guard, right? These are the best players in the draft, right? And that's not usual. Usually you have a bunch of quarterbacks, you have wide receivers, you have edge rushers, you have corners, right? You just don't have that this year. You got a few guys here and there, but you don't have that this year. And so everything that I've heard is that don't be surprised if Arvell Reese was there in the teens, right? Because once you start to go through the tape and everything like that, and you realize, okay, Ohio State aside, take the helmet off, look at the player. What is he? And are you really going to spend a top 10 pick on a guy where you don't really know what he is, right? And so that's kind of the things that I'm hearing and kind of the conversation around Arvell Reese.
Yeah, because I mean, like you said, he really doesn't have a position. I mean, he's more of an inside linebacker than he is anything. Okay, but you look at Sonny Styles, and he's kind of in the same boat to a degree. But being an outside linebacker, he's got more opportunity, in my view. So, but if Arvell Reese is down there, man,
I mean, that would be great. I think the Ravens, the Seahawks, this is a couple other teams that would be equipped to handle a player like that. That's not a type of player that I think any team could just grab and have success with. I think you have to have an understanding of like what to do with these hybrid type players. Like, for example, Kyle Hamilton, right? Obviously, Jesse Minter had Derwin James in LA, the same type of hybrid linebacker safety type player. That's kind of what Arvell Reese is. He's like a linebacker edge rush hybrid. He's not a true edge rusher, and he's not really a true off-ball linebacker. So he's kind of a hybrid. And you got to have a coach that would have a plan for that. So I don't know if every team would have a plan.
Yeah, I think Minter would be one that could have a plan for that. But I don't know. We'll see. I mean, it's we're still about 2 months away from the draft. So if you all can see the bottom of the screen there, I listed 4 players. All right. Of those 4 players, all 4 of those. Now, we know this is not going to happen, but we're going to say this. All 4 of those players are available at pick 14. And you got people ringing your phone wanting to make some trades, wanting to trade up. Okay. Michael, what are you doing at pick 14 if those 4 players are on the board and your phone's ringing off the hook?
If it's those 4 players, I'm taking Kyle Littman instantly. I don't think that's really even a question. I mean, obviously, you gotta hear out your calls. I mean, if somebody's offering you something crazy in return, maybe. Right. But I think Kyle Littman is a guy that we'd have a lot of utilization for, especially in this Earhart-Perkins system we're going to be moving into. So, no, I think that's the guy you take. I would have probably said Peter Woods if you asked me a few weeks back, but with the news of Matabike likely coming back, I don't know that you invest in a round 1 D tackle. I think you do invest in D tackle sometime in the draft. I just don't know if round 1 with Mekhi Littman on the board you do that if you're having Matabike coming back. But I'm a big proponent of trying to trade up personally and get a young edge like David Bailey or Ruben Bain if they drop. Like if you see Ruben Bain or David Bailey slide to 7, I am trying to get the Commanders number 7 instantly. There's some other potential targets you could maybe have that talk with. I'd love a trade up. I think that would be a splash like Eric DeCosta talked about. But I don't think you trade back if any of those guys are on the board. If those guys aren't on the board, I think you might trade back and get Ione from Penn State guard. I think he'll be a really solid guard that you could put on the left end, have Emory Jones on the right end, and have him and Voorhees kind of battle it out for that left guard position. And I think he's a day 1 starter in my opinion. So,
okay. What do you think, Sean? You get those 4 players to choose. This is for the Ravens, not the Raiders. Okay, so pick 14. Phone's ringing off the hook. I think your mic is muted.
You're muted, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have people running in and out of here sometimes, and I can't.
Oh, so your phone really is ringing off the hook.
It is, and I think you trade back. I mean, with the draft being
with those 4 players, you're trading back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Those 4 players, trade back, get more picks, get more depth. Are any of these players going to get you to the Super Bowl?
Well, you're not going to draft anybody that's going to get you to the Super Bowl.
Right. So I think
that's not how that's not how I, as a GM, I've been a pretty good GM on stick to the model. So, there's not one player out there that's going to get me to the Super Bowl that I'm drafting this year. Okay.
Stick to the model. That was good.
It's a long season.
One.
People get hurt. I think you trade back, grab more picks, keep your cap down.
Okay. Well, all right. I could dig it. Okay, and I'm going to go to you now, Matt. But Matt, I pretty much know, the Arvell Reese thing intrigued me today when you posted that. So now that you see those four together, which way are you going? I mean, I think I know, but
I think what I would do is I would grab my glass of bourbon and I would just drink it and just be okay. I'll take that shot of bourbon and I'm like, okay, all right. Whew. I didn't expect this, right? It's just like when Kyle Hamilton fell to 14 in 2022. It was just like, wow, okay, all right. We went into this draft not even thinking about Kyle Hamilton because he wasn't supposed to be
there was a lot of talk about him, but there was like, there's no way.
Top 5, though. He was supposed to go top 5. So y'all know I'm a Makai Lemon guy, right? I've been driving a Makai. I'm Makai. But if this is the board, I'm taking Arvell Reese. Okay. And the reason being is that, yes, he's a player without a true position, but you kind of alluded to it. We have the perfect coach for a guy who's just a freak athlete. And, you need a creative mind to figure out what to do with him. I think the Ravens could use him on the edge. They could use him and blitz him. They can put him in. They could do so many things with him and Kyle in tandem. I think that would just make us. I just think about when the Ravens were at their best, right?
Mm-hmm.
During the Rex Ryan era on defense.
Right.
They had a guy named Adalius Thomas. He was a Swiss Army knife. He could do everything. I mean, he played. Brian Billick was just talking about him recently. At one point, they had him playing safety. Dude was huge. He playing safety, linebacker, edge rusher, off ball, blitzing everywhere. You don't know where Dallas is going to be. A guy like Arvell Reese partnered with a Kyle Hamilton. To me, that would raise the floor way higher than Makai Lemon would for the offense. Now, don't get me wrong. I love Makai Lemon. I think he would be, even though he's 5'11", he could come in and be that true number one because he plays like a number one. But yeah, Arvell Reese would be the selection. I don't think you trade out of that because if you trade, depending on how far you go back, you can end up missing all of them, right? You could, maybe Woods is still there, but then I don't want to trade away from Lemon, Styles, and Reese. I wouldn't be too happy about that. So, Reese or Lemon for me.
What if you pick, or you don't pick any of them, you do trade back.
Okay.
And none of them are there.
Okay.
But Ione is there, like Michael mentioned. You good with that? Or
no, I'm taking Denzel Boston in that case.
Okay.
6'4" outside receiver, X receiver. EDC's on record saying the one thing that has haunted him. He said the one thing that has haunted him is not being able to find that outside X receiver.
Yeah.
And this is something that's gone on. All right. So I just want to share this real quick. I'm gonna be really quick. Okay. So we had a space one time late night, and there's this YouTube channel in which they rank every team 32 to number one based on a certain position, right? There are certain position groups, right? So they did rank 32 to 1 for your wide receiver history, right? Every wide receiver that's ever played for your team that you've drafted. Do you want to know where the Ravens ranked?
At the bottom.
32nd.
Yeah.
So I want to continue to draft wide receivers until we're no longer 32nd. You know what I mean? We're behind the Browns. We're behind the Bengals. No disrespect, we're behind the Raiders, the Cardinals. I mean, some of the worst teams you could think of just from a production. Yeah, I'm just saying, when we talk about, we've been better teams than them, but they have way better wide receiver history. And I'm just like, man, we gotta keep going until we find a legit wide receiver. So if in that case, I'm taking Denzel Boston because, again, to me, a guard, this draft is really guard heavy. You can really find some guards in the second round. I love the kid from Oregon whose name escapes me right now.
Emmanuel
Pregnon. I would love Pregnon in the second round. I love the kid Rutledge from Georgia Tech. I take him. I think there's several guys you can get in day 2 that can start for you. But no, give me the big outside X receiver. If I can't get any of these guys, give me Denzel Boston.
Okay. And I like that pick because I love Denzel Boston. I mean, he's exactly what you just described him as.
Yep.
He's that big X1 receiver, and he's the big tall guy that we've never had. I mean, we've got a Mekhi Lemon on our team right now, although I'm not saying I wouldn't draft Mekhi Lemon if he's there, because I probably would. But I think we have other needs besides Mekhi Lemon in that regard. So Arvell Reese, that intrigues me. I like that. I think
You sound faint, Mike. I think Mike was saying something. Would you say, Michael?
Go ahead.
No, my bad. Can you hear me?
Yeah. You was just kind of faint. Couldn't really hear you.
No, I was saying, if Denzel Boston's also off the board, are you down for Ione? Because I think you.
Oh yeah. If that's the case, then I mean, like it would have to be a couple
too, to be real. But yeah, I think like you said, I think Pregnon second round would be lovely if we could land him. I've seen a lot of mocks taking him a little bit earlier than 45, but I think there's also a lot of guards later, like Keelan Rutledge.
I just mentioned
Mason. Bisantis, is that it? Or,
Chase Bisantis from Texas A&M.
He's really solid. Like, there's a couple of guards that are going to be like 3rd and 4th rounders that you could grab up and have them battle it out with Voorhees, or you sign a free agent.
Exactly.
Something
and that's why I'm like, as much as I do like Ione, don't get me wrong, I like Ione. I just don't think it's worth. I just don't think it's worth doing it, right? I just think go find somebody that can help.
I don't think you take him at 14. I think you trade back if you do have that. If everybody that we've mentioned, like Mekhi, Denzel, Sonny, Arvell, Peter Woods, obviously the edges that we want. If any of those guys aren't available, then I think you do trade back and go for Ione.
Well, first of all, if all those guys are gone, this is just like a horrible draft. For the Ravens, like if we lose on all those guys,
it's like damn, dude.
We'll wait for next year.
The draft has gone horribly wrong at this point.
I mean, I think the Ravens are going to get somebody that's going to help them. In that first round, I really do. I think they can do the same thing in the second round if they're smart, and that's where I see like a Chris Bell. Jacoby Lane, I don't know if I'm taking him in the second round. Help me out here, guys. Some bigger receivers in that second round.
Jordan Tice. Second round, Malachi Fields.
Receivers, what we talking about? Players.
Receivers, yeah.
Oh, receivers. Second round, you're probably thinking guys like
Fields is going in the second round.
Omar Cooper Jr.
Yeah. Surratt, Elijah Surratt.
Is another one. I would probably in second round though. There's a lot of good receivers, but I don't know if they go in the second round. Like for example, one of my
Jeremy Bernard.
Maybe, Jeremy Bernard for sure. I do love Ted Hurst. Shout out to Ted Hurst from Georgia State. Love Ted Hurst.
Malachi Fields are probably third rounders.
Yeah, they're probably third rounders. So, it's a really deep draft.
Yeah, I think I don't even know that Ted Hurst is a second rounder.
No, he's not. He's not.
He'd be a third rounder.
I think some of the second round picks that I like are going to be Chris Bell, and he would have been a first round pick if he didn't got hurt so late.
Chris Bell, you know how I stand on that.
You are definitely alive there.
Yeah.
I see what he's do. I just want him to keep his cool, though. He don't be like Mike, like me. Don't be like me. Keep your money
like Mike.
And don't fucking go ballistic on your own damn podcast. So,
what about Jacoby Lane from USC?
I like Jacoby Lane. Jacoby Lane. I don't think that he's the route runner that some of these other guys are, but he's a good. He's another one. 6'4". He's done well everywhere he's been. And
Concepcion from Texas A&M, I think.
Yeah, well, I've seen him being pushed up into the first round.
Yeah, he's late first. Yeah, he's kind of late first.
There's
Antonio Williams.
A lot of receivers in this draft.
It is.
There's a lot of receivers.
It's a deep receiver draft, especially in the later rounds, in my opinion. Like
Zachariah Branch is another one.
Zachariah Branch is a good one too. But I think guys like Ted Hurst and Malachi Fields are like the top of my board when it comes to.
I think they're gonna be steals.
I think that's what we should.
I tell you who I really want out of that group. If I can't get Chris Bell, I want Ted Hurst.
Yes, me too. Yeah. Same.
Same.
I actually interviewed him at the Senior Bowl.
Did you?
I interviewed Ted Hurst at the Senior Bowl, and he's a great kid. Got his head on his shoulders. He's dynamic, man. Watching him in person,
best player in the league.
so smooth, going up and high. Like everything you see on the tape, you can see it right there in real life. Like he's gonna be something. He's gonna be something.
I got a hot take for you, Matt, that I want your opinion on. Every time I see him on film, I think he's like George Pickens, but I think he's actually got more potential than George Pickens.
I agree. I actually posted
he has a higher ceiling.
Yeah, I actually posted his all 22, and I said my comp for him is Pickens with more explosiveness. Like he's a little bit like Pickens is a little, he's kind of like he's a 50-50 receiver who's really good at the catch point and really, contesting catches, but he doesn't really offer much when it comes to explosive plays downfield. I think
route running. I think Hurst has solid route running fundamentals that you can build off of.
I agree.
So yeah, no, I agree for sure.
You said you were at the Senior Bowl this year, Matt.
I was, yes. Mm-hmm.
So next year, then you need to save me a seat because I'll be like an hour and a half away. I'm getting ready to move down to Florida in 2 weeks.
Oh, nice.
2 weeks from Friday.
Okay.
Nice.
Right on Santa Rosa Sound.
Bourbon up here in the Ville before you go, Mike.
Hey, man.
Yeah, we'll have to do that, Michael. We'll have to do that.
I'm be moving back to Florida here in a few years, man.
Well, come look me up, man. I'll be right on the freaking water. I'll be right with Destin.
Congratulations, bro. You'll love it. You'll love it.
Oh, well, that's always been the goal. I retired. I said, I'm going to move down to Florida. That's where I'm going to die. So hopefully I got a few more years, but I don't have to worry about it. But I'd like to be able to pass this podcast off in 10 years to Sean here. So
yeah.
No, so yeah, man. Let me know if you're going down there again next year, Matt, and I'll meet you over there, man.
I will be. I've been going to the
I'm only going to be like an hour and a half from Mobile. So
yeah, I've been going to the Senior Bowl every year since like 2014, 13, something like that. So
yeah, I might be able to do a podcast from there, man.
No, yeah, absolutely. We actually went live from the Senior Bowl.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I did. I saw you.
Yeah. Bill Carroll was on there with us, and he does the Draft Nerds thing with us. So it was really good, man. To kind of, I got a chance to interview Ted Hurst, Jacoby Lane. I interviewed Kevin Coleman from Missouri. Talked to
former Louisville.
Former Louisville. Talked to
Lacey.
Yeah, I also talked to running back from Indiana, Black, Keelan Black. Talked to him. Got a chance. He is solid. He is.
I like Henry too. So
got to talk to Kalen Rutledge, Jennings Dunker, some really Jacob Rodriguez from Texas Tech. Got to interview him as well. Yep. Talked to quite a few guys, man. It was cool to kind of get in conversation with these guys, seeing where their head is when it comes to their preparation and getting ready for the draft. And it was really good to kind of have those conversations. So kind of gives you better intake on. It's one thing you see the talent, you see the player, but it's another thing to kind of hear the man, right, and talk to the man, and see where where his head is and what do they think they need to work on and things like that. So it was cool.
Yeah, because I spent a lot of time in Mobile when I was working. For about 7 years straight, I traveled. I would fly out every Monday and come home on Thursday evening or Friday mornings. And I spent a lot of time down in Mobile. We did data centers for Verizon, and we redid one down there. I had to add a generator for a redundant system and everything. And I met Doug Williams, and you'll never get, because he was with the Redskins back then still. Mm-hmm. And, he's a scout for him or whatever. And he was at the Senior Bowl. Mm-hmm. And
I met him. He's a good guy.
He is a good guy. Super. And he's got his son is just got hired by the Commanders, I think.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah.
So, and I met him, and he's really cool. And I talked to him for a little bit. Guess where? I mean, you'll never guess where I met him. Is because I was like, really? He's one of us, I met him at the Waffle House, dude.
Oh, okay. Hey, the Waffle House, man. Everybody needs some waffles now. Like,
oh hell yeah! I got a joke. I want to, I don't know if it's a riddle, whatever the hell you call it. So I got a joke for you. It's like, tell me, okay, what has 6 tits and 3 teeth?
6 tits
Come on,
and 3
Michael.
teeth.
Come on, Michael. Come on, Sean. 6 tits, but only 3 teeth.
A Waffle House worker, employee?
A cow?
I don't know.
I don't know.
The night shift at Waffle House.
Oh, wow.
I was kind of close.
I knew it had something to do with the Waffle
You
House.
close. So, hey, man, what bourbon are you drinking tonight, man? I see you drinking the bourbon. I'm not drinking tonight, but what you got? We got going on?
I had some Kentucky bourbon, just some some Kentucky bourbon here. It's gone now though. I'm drinking it, but
I'll tell you what, since I'll be so close to Mobile, we'll hook up. I'll bring the bourbon. We'll sit out there and just fucking talk.
I got a smoker, so I have my wife on Father's Day last year bought me a smoker for your whiskey smoker. The whole kit and everything, so I can smoke my own bourbon and everything.
Yeah. Oh, dude, have you ever had a smoked old fashioned?
Yes, I did. Yes, I actually. You know, the crazy thing is I had one last night, actually. So, it was, Tuesdays is date night with me and my wife, and we went out to this restaurant, and then I was like, you got any smoked bourbon on? She's like, yeah, I can do a smoked old fashioned. I was like, all right, let's do it. So, I had one last night. It was pretty good.
That's the bomb, man. I tell you what, if you ever get a chance, I don't know how common. Are you in the Baltimore area?
No, I live in California now, but I'm from Baltimore, but I live in California.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, look up Peerless.
Okay.
Peerless Toasted Oak.
Okay. Yeah,
okay. Man, it's some of the best. It was voted the best bourbon in the world a couple years ago. So, and it's made right here in Louisville, local. I got a bottle up here. I'm waiting to pop open once I get moved down there to Florida. So,
nice.
What part of California are you in?
I'm near the Bay Area, so like the Super Bowl is right here and everything. So we went down there for the festivities and took part in the pre-Super Bowl events and all that. So
I saw you posting from there and stuff.
Yeah. We went down there, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah. I love the Bay Area. I love the Bay Area. I last time I was there to see Tom Petty. I was in Napa, spent a week in Napa.
Oh, nice.
And met a young lady from Orange Beach or Orange County.
Orange County, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we developed a little bit of a friendship. So I was supposed to be seeing Tom Petty, and that's Friday or that Thursday before Wednesday before his concert. He was supposed to be there Saturday night at the there on campus at Al Berkeley, and the Greek is what it's called. And he had to cancel because he was ill, and then 2 months later he was dead. So I never got to see him. And man, that hurt me bad because I love Tom Petty. But anyway, back to football. None of that sad shit. So here, we got the combines coming up. We've got the legal tampering window coming up, which is my favorite time of the year. See where, can we get those guys to fill our needs? Then you've got the signing period starts on the new league year, which is March 11th. Tampering starts March 9th. Combine is February 23rd, so just 2 weeks away through March 2nd. Franchise tags can start on the 17th. Then you got your league meetings April 29th to the 1st in Phoenix. And then this is what I'm trying to get to. This is the big event that everyone needs to attend and be at. The second annual Drinking Bourbon and Talking Football podcast mock draft on April 22nd. You guys are invited to come join us. We're going to have a lot of fun. This is the second year I've done the mock draft, but then during the 2026 draft on April 23rd, and Sean can attest to this because we've been doing this. It'll be our 4th year doing this. We're going to have a draft party that night for the first round. So we'll be on air all night. So come join us, man, because
absolutely. And you guys come over and join us too. We do a draft.
Oh yeah, I've been coming over to yours. I've been we do
a live draft podcast as well, and we do it every year.
I mean, I don't just start shit on my own podcast. I started on Michael's space too. So
nice.
It was a misunderstanding evidently, but man, it fired me up. As you can tell, I'm a pretty fiery guy. I'm 50% Irish and German, so the temper there.
Hey, sports will do that to you, man. Like I was just telling you in my personal professional career, I'm actually a mental health therapist. But you wouldn't be able to, you wouldn't be able to tell the way I curse people out on Spaces, you know.
Yeah, because I heard you get a little heated on this.
I tell people though all the time though, that's my release place. That's where I go. That's my barbershop talk. That's where I can go in and just let loose because you know, in my professional life, I got to be measured and I got to be professional.
Exactly.
So you got to have that space.
You know? Me too. I mean, I've always had to be professional in my career. You know, I've been in the electrical industry pretty much all my life since I was in high school. And, you know, then I was in the military and, you know, spent 11 years in the military. And the rest of the time I've been in the electrical industry. And, you know, I had to, you know, when you're in the field, oh, yeah, you're welcome. Absolutely. I'd do it again in a heartbeat. You know, when you're in the electrical field, when you're in the field, it's a different story. It's like everybody's ready to throw hands, okay? But in the office, it's like the front office, you know, with the Ravens or the Raiders or whatever, you know, you got to be diplomatic. You got to be, you know, and, you know, there were times that was tough to do. So I might have to take you up and just have you listen to me one night. Since you know, I'll pay you, man, whatever you want. But I probably could use a little therapy.
Hey, I got you, man.
Whatever you want. You heard that, Matt. Whatever you want.
Yeah, I know, man. Hey, look, just buy me a bottle of bourbon. Buy me a bottle of bourbon, man. And, you know, depending on how deep, depending on how deep the issues are, we might have to go 2 bottles of bourbon. You know,
I'll give you fair warning. You're probably going to want to. Okay.
I'm like, woo! Like, we need another bottle of bourbon.
You name the bourbon you want, and I'll hook you up.
It's all good, man.
Otherwise,
it's a
I'll
passion
hook you up
of mine.
regardless. Because I mean,
no, it's a passion of mine. It's something I've, you know, kind of. I just not too deep in the sad stuff, but I lost my parents when I was like 11 years old. So what my grandmother did to help us, me and my siblings, was she got us a therapist, right? To kind of, you know, I'm like 11 years old, never, you know, didn't even know what a therapist was, but that helped me so much to the point where I was like, all right, that's what I want to be when I grow up. Like, I want to be that person to help other people, right? And that's what made me go into that. And then sports is something I've always been a part of. Played sports myself. My son plays ball, and so it's just kind of like sports and mental health is 2 of my favorite things.
All right, dude.
Great outlet.
Thank you for sharing that with us.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You know, because you know, I love it when the guys are on here being real. That's the thing. So, you know, that's why I like having people on that, you know, I've not had a chance to talk with before and kind of find out, you know, their origin story, you know, and I think it's good for guys to share that. So, anytime, man. I mean, you can hit me up too, and I'll just charge you 1 bottle of bourbon. Listen, okay. So
it's all good, man. We would love to have you over on the DraftNerds podcast too. Like, you know,
I've been over there, but since I have
not the spaces, the podcast.
Oh, the podcast.
Okay. Last night, go check it out. It's on my page. Last night we had Michael Pierce, former Ravens defensive tackle.
I saw that. That was it Tuesday night? Yeah,
last night. Last night. Yeah, he was on the show last night. That was.
I didn't see you live, but I did watch the replay.
The replay. Okay, it was live, but it was fun having them on there. Some good stuff, man, and I enjoy having them. Later this month, next month, we're gonna have Trevor Sycamore on there from PFF, and then we'll have Aaron Wilson from CBS Sports. They will also be on there. So we got a lot of stuff for you guys.
All right, man.
Making moves. Shout out.
That's awesome. Yes. Anytime, man. You send the invite. I'll be there.
Absolutely.
We haven't been able to break that barrier yet. I've tried. I've had a few guys on. I've got
keep networking.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying. You know, who do we have on here just a few weeks ago? Sean.
He was up for the Hall of Fame. Texas A&M grad. Played
he's an offensive lineman that blocked for
Dan Marino. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Was it Smith? I can't remember his name. He was I should know this.
Hell, I can't remember his name either.
I should remember.
Hey, man, we can't remember what we did yesterday. So it's all
right. Yeah, well, you know, I'll be 65 years old in 2 months. So
oh wow, okay.
I'm like, if I can remember my name when I get up out of bed, I'm doing all right.
You're doing all right. Hey, Sean, I want to say though, man, I know I've been seeing a lot of Raiders fans kind of wrestling with the idea of trading the number 1 overall pick. I think it'd be a mistake. I think
Absolutely
Mendoza. I think Mendoza is the perfect Kubiak quarterback. He's that perfect Shanahan offense. Like, you don't need a superior athlete to play that position in that system. You just need a guy that can function in structure, and he's the perfect play action. He throws a really good back shoulder fade. He has plus athleticism. He's not just a statue.
Yeah,
and he has it between the ears too. I think
I agree.
I think you guys are going to be in good hands, and he feels like a Vegas Raiders type of guy, like
you know what?
Vegas part, but more of the Raiders part.
Yeah. I think the other thing is that, let's say they were foolish enough to trade back. Like, there's no free agent that we're going to get. And then next year there's a bunch of quarterbacks. But like Jaden Daniels, nothing was going to get Washington to trade away that pick.
No.
That's what's going to be their guy. So when these next QBs come out and these QB needy teams come back, it's going to be the same thing. You could have 5 number ones. They're just not going to do it.
They're not going to do it, especially if one of those guys is Arch Manning. Like, if he ends up playing the way they expect him to play, no one's moving off that pick. So
no, and then Carr from Notre Dame, he's played well. So there's going to be some good quarterbacks, and I think
you got the tight end, you got the running back, you got
whether it was by design or just pure failure. We got the number 1.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I keep wrestling with. Were these guys just stupid? Were they that dumb? Because Spytek wasn't involved. Was Brady that incompetent?
Hey,
we just got it.
Sean, we've been Raiders fans all our lives. Some of us longer than others, of course. I go back years. Okay, so we kind of were dumb, and that's how we got into it.
So sometimes you're better off being lucky than good.
Oh, absolutely.
And I think
in this case, for sure.
Yeah, I think a big thing with Mendoza too, and Matt, you kind of alluded to it. I think you were talking more football IQ. Like, I think he's got a great football IQ. But being in a place like Vegas, you don't want like a Johnny Manziel kind of situation where a guy gets into the league and then Henry Ruggs, right? Like, I know you guys are probably tore up about that whole situation, right? So I think Mendoza has done nothing but show that he's a stand-up dude and is about business, wants to be a football player, and that is pretty much it. Football player and I guess follower of Christ on top of that, and a good family man, right? Like that's what you want as a franchise quarterback. I think trading away that pick would be a huge mistake, like Matt said.
We've already had our Todd Marinovich,
Yeah, exactly.
We've already had that guy, and then we had, then we had Jamarcus, who just, purple drank it away,
I got PTSD from Jamarcus Russell.
I just,
going back to who he's talking about, the offensive lineman was Richmond Webb.
Richmond Webb. Yeah. I know Richmond
Webb.
Great dude. He's a Christ follower. He's a leader, and I love the guy, man. I've loved him for a long time. I thought, like I said, I've been watching football a lot longer than you guys. Before you guys were even born, you
I think I'm the youngest of the bunch here. I'm 25, so if that makes you
okay. Well, all right, I'm not. Tell me,
you've definitely been watching before he was born. So
yeah.
Like, you flip those numbers, and that's how.
Hey, Mike. I had been watching for 28 years before you were born.
Yep, there it is. Yep, there you go. Yeah, so
I don't know the exact number, but 1968 was the first year I ever watched an NFL game live.
Yeah,
19 when?
1968.
Wow.
I was 7 years old.
Wow.
And that was the Raiders and the Jets in the Heidi Bowl. And I fell in love with the Raiders because of the colors and because they were mean and nasty and snot dripping from their noses. And they played like I wanted to play, and that's how I did play when I played. I was kind of dirty. I was offensive lineman. I was like, who was the guy that played for the Cardinals there that was considered a real dirty player all the time? I really wasn't, but I was, I played hard. I played tough.
You got to do in the trenches right there, man. That's you can't play. I said that's what you got to do in the trenches, man. You can't be playing. Like
I mean, I played offensive guard. I played left guard. I played the defensive line. I played some edge. I played some defensive end.
Did you play in Louisville? Where'd you play out in Louisville?
I started in Jeffersonville, Indiana, which you know is right across the river.
Yeah, Jeffville. Yep.
Okay, my career started at Wilson Middle School. Then I played for Parkview in Jeffersonville. Then I moved to Virginia and I played for Kellam High School and Kempsville. Because we moved every time the damn rent came due. So I had to go to school every year. In 12 years, I went to like 14 schools. Okay. So, and then when we moved back here, I finished up at Thomas Jefferson, which is no longer a high school.
It's
middle school now. So, but I was the next to last class. What's that?
I played QB over at J-Town. So
okay, yeah, I saw some of your highlights.
Imagine how that, I was trying to get a thread going. We were talking late last night. We had a space at like 2 a.m. and guys started posting their film up. Some of the guys. So I was trying to get that started, see if I could get some people throwing film up.
That was awesome. But I don't even think they had cameras when I was playing, so no film.
No worries. Who do you guys think you're going to get for OC or DC? I can give you my take if you want to.
I know exactly who it is. They're going to bring that QB coach from Seattle. He's already kind of
Andrew Janocko.
Janocko. I think it would be either him if they can't land him. If for some reason he sticks with Mike McDaniel or Mike Mack. Then maybe you go with Jake Peetz. I think that would be another really good fit. I think Jake Peetz knows that system. I think OC, you got a lot of options. I think Janocko is probably the number one. I think that's who you're probably going to end up with, that's going to be fine. Has Kubiak said whether or not he's gonna be calling plays? I wouldn't doubt it.
Yes, he did. He said he would be calling
plays. Okay, that's I figured that would be the case. So I mean, you're just getting a guy to help implement the system with him while he handles everything on the football field. DC wise, who do you guys want? Because I'd say Jim Schwartz. I think he'd be probably the top candidate.
If we can get Jim Schwartz, sign me up.
Yeah.
If we can get him. I'm not sure that he's not going to sit out this year, but we'll see. Because I mean, I know he's a name that's been.
I think I saw something that said he'd be willing to.
Really?
Let me see if I can find that.
To me, the most important coach is John Benton, the O-line coach. I think he's going to be the most important. Yeah, he's outstanding offensive line coach, and he's certainly coming with Kubiak. Rick Dennison is also probably coming. Rick Dennison is a longtime assistant of his father, Gary Kubiak. He was tight ends coach for the Ravens when Gary was in Baltimore. So Rick Dennison will he's definitely going to be probably going with them. John Benton, the O-line coach again. They're probably going to. I wouldn't be surprised if the defensive coordinator could be Leslie Frazier. Leslie Frazier was in Baltimore when Gary was there as a secondary coach. He's an experienced defensive coordinator, and you're going to want to surround the young Kubiak with as much experience as possible. And if you can't get Schwartz, you have the relationship there with Frazier. So I
like Frazier. I'd rather have Schwartz. But I do like Leslie Frazier. He's a damn good defensive coordinator. The guy that I really wanted, but he's gone now, was Jonathan Gannon. The former Louisville player, former Arizona Cardinals coach. He got a raw deal in Arizona, as most coaches do. But I think if given time and given the weapons, he would have been successful there. So speaking of which, Michael, I know you're trying to get a coaching gig. Have you had any luck with that, or?
Last I talked, I haven't hit some of the guys that you gave me. I haven't hit up just yet. I'm planning to. I did talk to Big Dog. Coach Watson. He said he's going to put out. He said he's going to put out feelers for me and get back to me. So I'm just.
He will, man. He's a good dude. He was a defensive coordinator at offense or defense, I can't remember, at Fairdale.
DC at Fairdale, DeSales, and PRP. Right now he's a defensive coach at Holy Cross. So
he actually retired. He actually retired for a year or two, and now I've seen that he's back in it. I haven't talked to him for a while, but
but I
he's
gotta
a good dude.
you send me a laundry list of guys
Reach
that I still gotta
out
reach out to. I followed
to
all of them, but yeah, I gotta reach out to them.
I can't remember his last name. Bryson Johnson at Atherton.
Yeah, actually, so that's my little brother's gonna be going to Atherton next
Yeah,
year.
okay.
So that
Well,
that
there
would
you
be
go.
kind
And
of
their
a
head
cool
coach,
connection there.
Anthony Nino, is what they call him. Anthony
yeah.
White, been around a long time, was coach of the year last year, a couple of years ago. Great dude. Reach out to him. But the reason I'm asking, I'm also going to have Court Dennison on the podcast here very soon. So I don't know if you remember Court Dennison. Court Dennison was the linebackers coach and co-defensive coordinator at Louisville under Bobby Petrino. And then he left there and went to a few other places. I think he's in Idaho now, coaching up there at the University of Idaho, the Vandals. So he's going to be on here. We're going to talk a little bit of recruiting, how he got his start, how to get into coaching and stuff. So when I have him on, you're more than welcome, man. You guys have an open invitation. Anytime you want to come on, I'll send you a link. And, if you can, great. And if you don't want to, don't have time.
DM me the date on that one, and I'm definitely down.
I will. As soon as I lock it down with him, because he said he wanted to wait until after everything got settled.
Not for
now
sure.
that the season is over and everything, I'm going to hit him up. And he said, yeah, I've been talking to him for a couple of years now, and I think it's time that we're going to get him on. So we talked about that. Guys, I mean, you have been awesome tonight. I love your spaces. Sorry, Michael, that I've, caused chaos on your space. Matt, I love the insight, the info you're putting out right now.
Amazing stuff.
Thank
you. And, I'm very thankful for you guys being on tonight. We've been on for a little over 2 hours.
Yeah.
We
thanks for
typically
having
go
us,
an
man.
hour.
Thanks for having both of us.
I know
that was good, man. My schedule's cleared, so I ain't got nothing going on. Hang with the boys, So it's
right.
Thank you for having me on. Thank you.
Yeah, and I've been back on your spaces there, Michael, but I kind of just
I've seen
stayed
you
in
down
the
in the listeners.
background.
I've seen it.
Yeah, I just stayed in the background. But I'll step up again one day, whenever you want me to. I'm just not that guy.
Some of the guys they get I know Matt, like he said, I know he works mental health, and even he gets high headed. It's football, so I mean people just like people are passionate. We get talking. I think
it's the locker room, man.
Exactly.
Like when you're in the locker room, it's the boys. Everybody's passionate about their takes and all that stuff.
Exactly.
I don't even care if you make it personal, calling out my mama. I don't care, but don't call me names.
Yeah. Well, for me, I have rules in my space, so I don't. I kind of try to have some decorum there.
Well, that's the thing, and that's
no disrespect to like you can disagree, you can debate, but like we don't disrespect each other. Anyone who even if you don't disrespect me, if you disrespect someone in my space, I'm kicking you done.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's the way it should be. And that's kind of why I stay away from the spaces and not so much on your guys' spaces, although you did get a little heated today, Matt. I heard you. So
me today? Today was I heated today?
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It wasn't nothing over the top, but I heard some fire.
It's been worse than that at times. We get there, but
I know me and Matt even gotten into it a couple of times.
Yeah,
it's so at the end of the day because it's like
listen. I've been doing spaces since spaces started, right? So me, Miss Gina, a couple of people, we were like the first ones that would do the spaces, and like spaces has evolved.
Been on the podcast.
Yeah, spaces have evolved so much, right? But it's definitely a place where people like they will push your buttons, right? It's not just like, oh, I'm just we're screaming at each other because we disagree with each other. Opinions. It can get a little it can get a little heated, but it always bring it down. So we'll get into our debates, right? Kind of like Stephen A. Smith. We'll get into our loud debates. We're screaming, yelling, but then afterwards I'll bring it back down and say, all right, look, if you're listening to this, just know it's all love, it's all respect. We just really passionate. We're really passionate, and a lot of times you have to scream in spaces because you won't be heard if you don't. You know what I'm saying? Like they will talk right over you if you don't get loud. Like they
Yeah.
would just, you know. So you get.
And
sometimes
that's
you gotta
pretty
talk
much
loud.
why I stay away from the spaces because
Yeah.
you got 10 people all talking at the same
At
time
the same
or
time.
trying to talk at the same time. Then somebody gets mad and it's like, dude, on
nobody's
here.
listening.
Well, it's like, and you can go to hands and stuff. Like Z Farm runs really like he does pretty good at keeping spaces pretty like straight edge. We're gonna have one person at a time. I try to start that way, and then in the night with some free form stuff, just let people throw stuff out and debate and whatnot. But no, yeah, you'll have people going by hands, and somebody will be in the middle of their take, and then somebody randomly comes off mute and just that's a horrible take. It's like
yeah.
Then
you got 4 people, like they're all talking on
I can see why you do podcasts, Mike.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, that's the thing. The only person that talks
More
over
control.
people on this podcast is me.
Yeah, more controlled environment in the podcast. I
Yeah,
kind of do both. Spaces is fun though. I don't.
Yeah.
Take it
Oh,
seriously.
I enjoy it, but it's like and Michael that night, I was like, damn, everybody calm down, wait your turn, and it's like.
No, it's no holds barred, man.
Well, I de-escalated the situation. I just left. I wasn't going to keep it going, but I wasn't going to sit there because I was pissed, and everybody knew it, of course. But I apologize for that. I didn't mean to do that, but I apologize for that earlier.
We've all been there where we've kind of gotten a little too. You can have Sean too far on you, and
you can have
Medina, man. Shout out to Medina.
I get heated on here, but never like the outburst that I just had earlier.
No.
Okay,
Miss Gina a champ though. Like she holds her own in there, man. She be in there with the guys, but one, she got the most powerful. She has the most powerful microphone of anyone in the space. So
who is that?
You cannot overtalk her.
Miss Gina.
Yeah, you can't overtalk her.
Miss Gina.
You cannot overtalk her. That microphone is so powerful that you won't. Even if you try,
she's not afraid of that mute button either. She
No.
will hit that mute button quick.
Yeah, I try to get her back on the podcast because I love her. I love her insights. I love what she has to say.
Yeah,
she was on the podcast one night. I had a ladies' night, a Ravens ladies' night. We had about 6 women on here, and
that's cool.
I let them all have their say on what they were thinking about things at that time. And she was on, but man, she kept having connection problems, so I lost her, part of the way through. But yeah, I'll have her back on here.
I'm sure she'll be back. She told me when I told her I was coming on. She told me that she had been on here before, so that was cool.
Yeah, she's been on here. 8-way D. She's
that's my homie. 8-way. Shout out to 8-way D.
Yeah, so and her and I have
pretty much
I have had some heated moments. So, but
I mean, we've all had, right? I mean, me and Mike have had moments. Me and D have had moments. Me and Miss Jean. I mean, we all. It's never disrespectful though, right? It's always.
Well, that's the thing. I think I was a little disrespectful earlier, but for good reason.
Yeah,
I'm not going to go any further than that.
But it's good though. It's like you've been in the lab sharpening your football takes, and you can't wait to try them out on somebody, right? And so it's as soon as you get into that ring, it's like, all right, here we go. Who wants to smoke, right? Like who wants to smoke? So
Dr. Frankenstein here. All right, guys, man, I'm going to let you guys go so you can get back to your families.
Appreciate you,
Sean. I'm going to hit you up here in a minute.
Thank you.
And Sean, you and I will talk more about the Raiders down the road. And you guys
all good. This was a great pod having you guys on here.
I had a whole set of notes for all those free agents you guys had, man. So I'll hold on to those, man. We can talk.
Oh yeah, well hey, when we do it, okay. Now this is probably the last podcast here from this hacienda, but when I get settled down in Santa Rosa, we'll be doing it from the beach, baby. So cigar in hand, bourbon in hand. And fucking watching the sun go down, and we'll be partying. So you guys are welcome back anytime. I appreciate you. I loved you guys being on here. I love following you guys. Thank you for following me back. Sean, I love you, even though you pissed me off 9 times out of 10. It's just me and Sean are like brothers. We just. It's like, God damn it, shut up, and sometimes I got to tell it because it gets a little long in the tooth, but so do I. So, but anyways, guys, thank you so much for being on. Keep up the good work.
Thank you, man.
Hey. You all have an open invitation.
Have a safe move down, man. Safe move down to Florida, bro. You're going to love it.
Oh, I am. And, I don't know if you're from, I live in an RV. Okay. I retired last May, and in last January, I bought a brand new RV. I said, that's what I'm going to do when I retire. I was going to travel. I was going to work 3 more years. And then one day in May, I sold my house in March. I moved into the RV. I've been living in the RV for a year. I love it. And one day in May, I woke up and I said to myself, I'm done. I don't feel like doing it anymore. And my prayer for you guys is that one day you'll be able to do the same thing. You just walk away when you're ready. Because I tell you what, I've never been happier. So that's why I'm moving to Florida. Like I said, that's where I wanted to retire to. That's where I'm going.
Congratulations, man. Congratulations.
And I'm going to pack the RV, pull it down there with a truck, park it, and then I'm going to be partying down there. Probably find me some.
I know a couple of people. I know a couple of people who lived out of RVs down in Florida, and they absolutely loved it. Like it's.
Dude, yeah.
I was jealous of some guys. I had a buddy named Zach who used to live at a trailer park with a bunch of people, and it was like really, really nice. He was showing me pictures, and he was like, "Yeah, I get to go out and party. I can travel down to the Keys and bring my whole house, basically. It's awesome." I was like, "Yeah, it's really cool."
Awesome. So, I mean, because you can always pack up and go to the next place.
Exactly.
I'm like 7 miles from Perdido Beach. 10 minutes from Pensacola, 15 or 20 minutes from Destin, 30 minutes from Fort Walton. I love it, man. I can't wait. And then, I'm going to stay there a year, and then we'll see. I might move a little further south from there because I eventually want to end up in the Keys. So
yeah, it's a great area too. So
yeah. So guys, again, thank you. I appreciate your insights. Appreciate you taking your time. Matt, I tell your wife I'm sorry for taking you away for 2.5 hours almost. But so I owe you a bourbon for that.
All right, man. So if you ever find yourself in the Bay, man, it's on me.
Well, I will, trust me, because once I get settled in Florida.
Same, Sean, for you. Same thing for you guys, man. You guys out here, it's on me.
Sean is actually in Austin, Texas.
Okay.
And I'm in Louisville, where Michael is also at. And my next travels after I get down to Florida is to head out west. So I will definitely be making my way up that way through Yosemite and all that. So
I spent my birthday in Yosemite.
Dude, I can't wait. I mean, I'm gonna do the whole West Coast. I'm going, I was going to go start out in the Black Hills. But now that I'm moving out of Florida, I'm going to go through New Orleans, hit the Grand Canyon, go around and go up and, go through California, Oregon, Washington, and back over to Montana and Wyoming and all that. So I might be on the road for about 2 years, but we'll still be doing the podcast. So,
yeah.
All right.
That's
guys.
Good, all right. Have a good one, y'all.
See you guys next time.
Appreciate
sir.
you for having us, man.
Well, have a good night now. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir. You do the
all
same.
Right. Thanks. All right, everybody. That was Michael F., who is Michael PS2K on Twitter. He does spaces. He's got an awesome platform that he uses. He's also the moderator for Ravens Flock group. So thank you to Michael. We broke records tonight with viewers. My God, I'm so ecstatic. So thank you guys for helping us do that, because we'd have never done it without you. Nobody wants to sit here and listen to the old guy, so I'm not going to stay on here much longer. But thank you all for watching. We appreciate you. To all of Ravens Flock, I think we're set for the future. I think we got one of the 2 best head coaches in this cycle, and I think Super Bowl is on the horizon for the Raiders. Same to you for Raiders Nation. Sorry we didn't get to a lot of Raiders content tonight, but we will do that on the next one. And we also got one of the 2 best coaches, and I think Raider Nation is headed for better days. So thanks for joining us. You guys have been awesome for sticking with us for over 2 hours. I hope you enjoyed it. We did, and I hope my guests enjoyed it. And we will see you the next time on Drinkin Bourbon and Talking Football podcast.